Hello, my country people them. We don't come again. Now na countryman that with another brilliant discussion today. Presentation when a countryman don't bring a phone. So we don't already get a few people them. Sorry, say when a countryman come a few minutes late, about 5 minutes late. Sorry about that. Because I will get some small technical difficulties in the background. Jamel look there here. It's a hell Igwe. I see you too. Una mash fire. Una mash fire. Una know what if you do black legs. Share and make it go far and wide. Now so with the doam. Now mash am, control the cam. So the Nkunyam the way the day for America, where they would think say they fit destroy Cameroon, call themselves generals and whatnot. Okay. They don't start to go prison, my country people. That is it. So we'll get a few people that don't already join with us. Fantastic. Share them, copy the link, share them too for WhatsApp, maybe not only for Facebook. Drop them too for WhatsApp, my country people. Yes. So I hope say all the Anglophone journalists, the day here, they don't assemble. And we'll go discuss a lot of things and way I'll give them plus evidence. Things and way they need to reflect on in their reporting, because I will release an audio. I invite all of them, may they come watch, because we'll get a lot of things. I get documents for show them. So people, the way they be, whether they report news from Cameroon, journalists, or on radio, TV, social media, blogging, and the rest. This is it. Okay, my contributor, now give me 1 second. I want to check something briefly. I want to check something briefly. I will be with you very shortly, my contributor. Now give me 1 second, then we will start. In the meantime, when I know what to do, now chakra the thing for WhatsApp, for Facebook, everywhere. Chakra the thing. Yes, that's it. Now give me 1 second and I check something. Now some person they send me messages right now as I did live. Some person they send me messages. So they don't compromise. Now how many talk? 3. They don't compromise 3. Amber should know why blast them for Njotin, for Bui. Now the breaking news that brilliant, fantastic news for Bui today. They compromise 3 and plenty the day on the run. We'll get plus pictures. Now just say the kind picture I mean thing where if you put them for Facebook, so I know if you show one live, we'll get plus their body pictures them. And earlier today as well, they compromise 2 for Momo, that Batibo with the Kum Road. They will go plant that they are primitive explosives. The military wipe 2, NGO plenty, the day for bush now. They lick their wounds, they cry, kum they inside them, better kum. Yes. The 3rd and 7th they drop that nonsense come for TTR center, they deny. So may the beginning enjoy. Sako and Ayawacho, ego, I think they don't really start do fundraising for take care of them. Not them savvy? Oh well, wait till we jungle I own. Okay, my contributor, so now the latest news that okay, I don't know, sometimes the country people then when you go for your village you won't come back. You can't tell me say countryman I be go for my village, I don't come back. They report to me like say I've been a principal for school. Honestly. Nah, country people will not the handbook sometime. Okay, so make we start. 10 minutes past 6 o'clock now already, and because the countryman became 5 minutes late, so we don't for this palaver for 5 minutes already. So una fit see the topic of discussion is there on our screen. So when I get the information about this guy we named now Roger Akem, I think to myself, Roger. Where have I heard that name before? It never come to me straight away. So what I do, now say, I decide for Google the name, just like any. Now the first thing that you could do, whether you call yourself investigator or whatever, you don't even need for be investigator serve. For no say, the first thing where you need for do, if you want to find out something, now for just Google the name. So Roger Akem. So as an officium, now give me 1 second. My bring them onto the screen now. So as an officium, if you just go for Google, type Roger Akem, when I waited that will be doing, you search him. So it come up with LinkedIn and a few other pages there. But surprise, to my greatest surprise, one of the searches the way it come out, now in that now the results that was here, I said, what? So it is so countryman, if you don't write about Roger Akem a few years ago. So that way I see this post, I see when if you go for Google, you search the name Roger Akem, it will come up. So I select them, I say wonders. Now I know where I know the name from. So I select them, I go for the page. Now the page that will load, obviously when I recognize this website, it load. Now in that, now the information that. So I be done already, whoops, must zoom in again. So now the information that we must zoom in for now, because we get journalists that went for here. As Eric Tato talk say, no journalist, not the way you go feel quote countryman or whatever. Good. May they no quote me. May the quote now the information will come out from the United States attorney or the United States. What do they call them again? Attorney General. Yes. May they quote the documents that I go show now where they come out from the AG. Their office. So March the 21st, 2019, when more than 2 years ago, countryman Kumkumasa, we post on Nafisian Roger Akem is sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. So Atoxe, facilitator and sponsor of terrorism, Roger Akembum Akem. I even put plus a woman named Veronique Akem, a registered organization, Ambassador Public Affairs Committee, and then I put plus address, everything. So I want to thank very much this particular black leg. People that be think say kumkumpas gare na me. No, kumkumpas gare it no be a countryman. Kumkumpas gare it be na just your ordinary random black leg. Okay, na kumkumpas gare that. So it no be na me. Na kumkumpas gare it be make that poster, it send them, and then countryman just decide post them for the website. So the information there for any person way. A one go check them out, and Kumkumpas Gary it put even plus pictures for your family, it give information, and as we talk we say more info loading. I am MKPD, you are MKPD is millions of us. This one now Operation Sunshine. So when I first see the importance of Operation Sunshine right from this particular example, so we'll even get a screenshot of that organization where you register when a 501c company. They like say every single Amber Fool, you don't register a 501c company, because the whole point of Ambazonia na opportunity for them to make money. We will not ever forget that one. So it registered this 501c company when a charitable organization called Ambazonia Public Affairs Committee. So it registered actually now for Ye House. Now the registered address that for Wilbury or na Minnesota. So now the details in that any person will be interested. I know we'll label the point too much. Now you picture that on our screens. Any person will be interested. If you just Google a name for Facebook, or you go for MKPD Command www.countrypeople.com, then you type in name Roger Akem, you will get all this information. Even your Twitter handle, believe it or not, we'll screenshot all thing, we'll put them, and the Twitter handle, believe it or not, is still be active. So my people, that one, the first thing that I'll be doing, I Google them, and from then I develop more interest, and then we'll go into it. So now why that would day for here now with this breaking news day. MKPD Day live today, Wednesday, number 7 day of July 2021, when a Wednesday, and we will talk to one about the Amber terrorists where they indict them for America. Now they don't already start plead guilty, and they sell information to the federal government for America, we mean they snitch on their co-conspirators them in order for get a reduced prison sentence. I get evidence and I will provide the evidence for una right here, right now, my contributor. So, right, if una give me 1 second, I want to put a link up on the screen for una. Copy link address. I want to send them through WhatsApp. So I need to go to what's that S6 there. I want to send this link to una. Actually, why me to go through all that hassle? So if una just go back for MKPD, go to the home page, give a few seconds, make it load. Right, the last post where Countryman post them, when I in that post them today, for the journalists the way they watch them, for people the way they want to gather information, for go write newspaper articles and whatnot. The last post we post them today, where I post them, literally post them 15, 16 or 30 minutes ago. Today, now in this, when all the documents and all the information when I need to know about the people the way they indict them for America. So if you access that link, give it 5 seconds for load or so. My internet not be very fast today. So now the article that when I see them on our screens, now the people in that they indict them. So now the case that na Mangang, so I start with Roger Akemi on. So you get all these ones and are links, okay? All of these ones up to 11 links, you get 10, 11 links them way. If you select any one of these links them, it go load a PDF document. Then you could then examine them for yourself. Now all the evidence that we need for understand the indictment and which way they go on. So this one down here, number 11, now the indictment, now the plea agreement for Roger Akem, where we will discuss them today. Now the last one that. So if you access that link, it will take you go for the web address where we don't really write about Roger Akem before, as I don't really show now. So I get all the information, the screenshots, even the text about the indictment for Mangang and this one, the indictment for Roger Akem, and all of that will come to that in a second. So I just show now. If you go for Countryman, the website, I get their pictures and everything where you want. Day on the website where I don't just publish them today. All that information, Roger Akem. Okay, right. Make we go now. We'll go into the main event. We'll start with the actual broadcast. My computer. As I will talk, so we'll start with the sealed documents. Why this document will be sealed, I will explain that for you in the next few seconds. Okay, if we now examine this document, the file now on the 12th of June 2020, I hope so the screen will be clear enough for all man to see what we had to talk about. The file now only 6 pages, and the file this document on the 6th of June 2020. Okay, right, and it tells one of the day. So this one at the United States District Court of Maryland, the United States of America versus Roger Akem, aka Roger Akembum, when are the defendant for that case. Okay, so they say, I will just go briefly through this because I don't really talk about this before. They say the United States Attorney for the District of Maryland, they charge on count 1 conspiracy that beginning on or before 2017 and continuing until at least July 19th 2019 in the District of Maryland and elsewhere, the defendant Roger Akem did knowingly and willfully combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with others, known and unknown, to the United States Attorney for the District of Maryland to commit certain offenses against the United States, and that is, and then they list the offenses the way he commit them. So maybe we not understand when they talk about this one, where they say, you first of all, in order for it to be a crime, it means that you be willfully do them. It no means you must do and you want. If you combine for doing with another person, that one is still crime. If you combine, even if you conspire, when a conspiracy, it means say if you plan for commit a crime but you know actually commit a crime, that is a crime. So when you go sit down, you talk about committing a crime or talk about something where you know, because it must be willfully. No man no put gun for your head, because if person be put gun for your head and they force you to do something, then that one they don't feel hold you accountable for that particular. But if you willfully conspire, work with other people then, and agree willfully with one or two other people. They say known and unknown. They know why they talk. Say known and unknown to the United States attorney. Because knowing that all co-conspirators them, they know. But when they bring you in for a plea deal, then they start asking you for name all the co-conspirators them. And I could come to that document. So I just want to show, give you the lowdown. That one at page 1. If you go for page 2 for that document, they explain the charges them. They said it be knowingly and willfully export and attempt to export ammunition, firearms, and various other items from the United States to Nigeria in violation of that law, which is blah 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 blah. And then it be knowingly and willfully export. This one they say export those things them, and then this one export and attempt to export. So the no say he actually export them, and the no say he also attempt for export them. Not two different charges than that, because if you attempt to do something in a crime, now still crime. You know must succeed before it becomes a crime. If you only attempt for kill some person, it is called attempted murder, and that is a crime. You know must actually kill the person before you go for prison for that crime. If you try to kill some person and you fail, that is still a crime. It's called attempted murder. So me will not understand. So now the talk say he fraudulently and knowingly exported or sent from the United States, or attempt to export or to send from the United States any merchandise, articles, or objects contrary to any law or regulation of the United States in violation of that particular USC, which we stand for United States Criminal Code. Smuggling. Basically, whenever I hear the talk say smuggling, now all of these words them, all these words them where they put them. So you just use the word smuggling. Now what that what it means? Smuggling means that you fraudulently and knowingly export or send from one place to another any items where say it be against the law for move those items, then that is called smuggling. Okay, so now to knowingly file and cause the filing of false electronic export information. Basically, before you want to export anything like for container out of the United States or any country in the world, you must accurately list all the things the way they did for that container. And if you don't do so, that is a crime. Okay, so all of those things then, we'll go to page 3 because I don't want to labor that point too much. For page 3, the toxicity. So the object of the conspiracy and activity, it was the object of the conspiracy that Mr. Akem and his co-conspirators would obtain defense articles so they know exactly what way they be want for achieve them. Okay. They go into great details with all these things. And so when I see them here, they talk for future, we mean the fee seize the property if they find out, say, it be part, it gain that property as proceeds of crime or whatever. So when I see for the U.S. District Attorney that, or the Attorney General, and on that date, 12th of June 2020, which is just about 1 year, 1 month ago, where they filed these charges on Afisiam, it will be sealed. And the only reason why we know these charges them today for July 2021, I will explain that for you in a few minutes, my country people. Then I will explain that for you why we know about these charges and why they don't unseal them now. I could scroll up a little bit, my country people. I want for showing something. So as I be done talk. Now we don't really see a picture. Now a Twitter account that. So it changed from Roger Akem to Rogers All-Star. Since we're after the indictee, it knows it did in trouble. Maybe a lot of people they go start googling him. It delete all. I don't think they get any trace of any account for Facebook anymore. It delete everything. And then even for your Twitter handle, it changed Rogers All-Star. Because when I go for the country people website where we'll be writing about it, the screenshot will take him since 2 years ago. It don't change the name slightly for make him. Maybe people don't identify it for Facebook. And it joined since 2012, and the last time where it retweet now this picture now for September 2020. Now the last time this way it will be active on social media on Twitter. Since then, Roger it don't go through kind difficulties for obvious reasons then. And this one I want to recall and say the consequences of sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon and countrymen. We don't write about them. We'll try for warning in no grief for here. So my contributor. So So when we talk today, so they don't indict these people. Them, I want to play this short audio phone and only 20 seconds. Now man gang this. When we the country people them, the black legs them, we will enter for this palaver, we chakra them, we spray them all over the place, and we tell all man say this so. The amber fools the way they did for America, they don't start to face consequences of their actions. As a matter of fact, I don't show when they did. They indict Tamofos and Michael now since 2019. Okay, July 2019. They indict this one way I talk about today. This one Roger Atem on the Akem. They indict now since 2020. But man gang on. So the question when me I want to ask now, live on the answer of the comment section, I say, time where they be indict the first one, Tamofos and Michael, will not be no. Since 2019, will not be no. Escort the amber force, they no be no. They knew. They no be one may will not know. They be hide the information. Time where they indict this one, Roger Akem, since 2020, will not be no. Simple question. When I think say the amber force, they no be no. They be no. They will start for the cover their own tracks. Now, time where they indict Mangang. Now see this for this picture. Now the fourth, now the third, fourth, and fifth people in this way they indict and where we know of, because in total now them 13 where they don't indict and where we never yet know the names of all of them. I go bring the evidence, even themselves, so that they talk them now. So by the 21st of June 2021, I went to that country man put and say all three cases, Mangang, Tamofos and Michael, Tamofos and Michael and Walters Muma, indicted in the US, all are federal felonies, and all the federal felonies that carry up to 20 years in prison, blah, 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 blah. So I know very well say, now Mangang picture that. So we will force Mangang for can record this audio, confirm them, say it is so they don't indict it. When I listen.
Hello, House comrades. For those of you who have seen this news going around about my indictment, I want to come and say it is true, but it should not.
So as I be telling you, I only want to play only the first 20 seconds of that Mangang audio, because the rest of it is just be useless. All we when I need for no necessity. I don't really play this audio for now before for previous broadcasting will be released. All we when I need for no say the truth na say. They don't indict Mangang, and Mangang, it don't come out, it can't confess them, it can't accept them. And the only reason why it be feel the need for can do them now because of the pressure where we, the country people, the black legs, the Kumkumasa, and all you, like it's better days ahead, and all these other people that they here did watch, because of the pressure where we will put to bear on them, now it be forced them for come out, I can't make a public statement. For example, other people like Walters, Muma, Tamofos and Michael, and this other guy where they indicted today, where would they talk about it today, the Roger Akem, they no be make no statement, even though they indicted since 2020. Why? Because at that time we no be know. It be still be sealed. And if we no put this pressure, they no go ever come out, can't talk them out publicly. Now, just for congratulate all the black legs them say, the GoFundMe, where they be set them up for defend Mangang and all the other amber terrorists, the way they indict them for America. If you access the GoFundMe today, just like I don't tell Una before, the campaign cannot be found. Why? Because black legs don't do a fantastic job. They report them massively, and GoFundMe, it don't bring down the campaign. Thank Una plenty my contributor for that one. Now, before we go show Una the document where I bring up Una, I can't tell Una about the indictment of Roger Akem and how it don't already plead guilty, and it work now with the feds in order for incriminate other people them, for bring evidence against other people them, and I go explain for now how it works. Okay, my contributor now. When I listen to this video.
It was an unfortunate situation that happened. My gang, we have learned, and 3 others are being indicted by the U.S. government for it.
Chris Anu say Mangang and 3 others are being indicted. That is a lie. I like me so-called barrister Fruit John, so because you can't spill the beans, you can't tell exactly how many people they indict them. When I just follow this video closely, when I will know how many people they know, where the amber fools they already know, say they be indicted already. When I listen,
illegally dealing in the arms, ammunition, First, I like to make a number of clarifications here because I know people have sent messages asking, is Mainga part of your interim government? The answer is no. She has not been part of this government. She used to be a cabinet member. She was fired from being from that position, and for probably 3 years, she hasn't been part of the interim government. But I want to assure you, this has nothing to do with this interim government. We cannot compromise anything. It's not only 3 people. There are about 13 people involved.
Una yeno na Fru Johnson that and na their so-called lawyer. Una here again, me Fru Johnson explain that for una give me 1 second. Now in that.
But I want to assure you, this has nothing to do with this interim government. We cannot compromise anything. It's not only 3 people. There are about 13 people involved in this whole saga since 2018. And they have been investigated and they have been indicted. Some of them are pleading guilty and having plea bargaining. I want to sound an alarm.
Okay.
That the interim government for now to stay as far as possible from these people because we are at the crossroads of what is happening today. You cannot violate an American law, a federal law in the US, and expect to get out of it.
So for 2021 now, Fru John, so they can't tell when I say you cannot violate a federal law in the United States and get away with it. But for 2018, they be telling us, when I give we money for my trip to Boya, we'll go buy guns and afuna. They be promising us that they go buy the guns now how? They go send them out of America now how? If they not break American laws, they go do them now how? Which one of them get license for import or export weapons? Which one of them get the licenses? So now they tell us that you cannot expect to violate the laws for America. So they knew right from 2017, 2016, 2018, they be know. So they know if you buy a gun for America, so even if they buy them, they go manage how many? Maybe for 1 year, they send with 100 guns on the ground. 1 year. Not to talk about for every day with the past, come only to kill the food and seize them again. So then that one a war. They knew. Anyways, it continued. Now listen.
I don't know how standing behind Mangang is going to happen. But I'm saying, if you look at the 13, we have a lot, some of the people who are our supporters. They may not be in the interim government, but they are our supporters. But I cannot classify them along with Mangang. Given the statement that Mangang has been making since 2018, till today. Listen, I am saying that you can do whatever political thing you want to do, but stay away from that case because it's a criminal case and it happened. They were caught hands down. They were caught doing what they were doing.
They were caught.
I don't know where some of you are claiming that if she succeeded, it would have been.
Okay, my country people, I know so when I don't see this video before and we don't publish them on country people platform, and at the end of this live broadcast, if I want them, we'll go publish them again for Cameroonianness and for a better Cameroon Facebook page. But so we no need for really play the whole of that video. So for remind Wuna, the guy for middle, that the other guy that was the indicted for this June 2021, he named Walters Muma. Now in that and all these other Amber Fools. Okay, I'll get some small video. Now, Alambi Walters that I get this short 1 minute video, now about 3 minutes 38-second video where I want me when I watch them. This video, now time where Amber, they still get the guts for assemble outside the White House for Washington, D.C. Now 2018, this video, it come out today, 2021. Forget about coronavirus don't make people, they don't gather anyway. So this kind of gatherings them when I go see some person they pass around it get basket because they will collect money now basket to basket contributions and that where they will collect money. So Amber not survive for 2021 with no contributions. They need to come in for this kind of organization or gatherings where they will get them for 2018, 17. Every week they will get at least one where they will organize them and they will raise plenty of money. For 2021, that doesn't happen. Besides coronavirus, now one of the reasons why we Amber not gather anymore now because of it, they don't start to go prison. They don't start to face the consequences of their madness. When I watch.
Let me just say that this event today is marking the beginning of the end of our decolonization by Cameroon. And it will start because we know what we want, because we know who we are. Last September, our people went down the streets and sang the song that you've all been singing.
Okay, so my contributor in this video now, before they get all these multiple factions, before they break away to AGOV-C, break away to IG number 2, break away to Akwanga own faction, and all of this nonsense where they don't be so divided and they be fractured amongst themselves. So I'm not going to bore now with playing that video. We'll come very soon to the point, the whole reason why we're here today now, for explain how they don't already start plead guilty and they can't go prison very soon. I get plus evidence, I get documents for showing. So for 2018 they will feel assembled like that, because the truth and sincerity, these people, they will actually go out there, they talk, say America, some of them will actually believe the stupidity and the nonsense where they will talk, say America, they support what way they do. Honestly, now so they will talk, they say, okay, if America nobody support Amazonian, then why they never arrest Sako, why they never arrest Tapan, why they never arrest Chris Anu, where they did now for America, why they never arrest Eric Tato, and all the other ones the way they did for America. Okay, now they don't start arrest them. Their story don't change. And now, because they don't start arrest them, they don't start put them for prison. Now, one of the reasons that with all those gatherings, the way they go to gather, all that noise that they make up for Facebook, a lot of people, them, like I tell you now, for yesterday and the other day, we continue my day live, we tell you now, say plenty people, them no mind how we know now only 3. We know that Nick Santos and Sofoncha and Yannick Sikot, where they come out of Amber publicly and they make all man know so they don't come out. Plenty, so like this Walter's Muma, you think that after they indict, you think they still there for that nonsense. Nah lie, Walter's Muma, they don't check out since. What about this other one with the indicted to since 2019? Tamu First and Michael, you think they still there for that noise? Nah lie, you know the past. Then we talk about, say, the other one too, where he go prison for London, Quad Driscoll. You think the Quad Driscoll still there for Amba? You think they make that noise should make up for 2016, 17, 18? Nah lie, you don't go prison, so they come out. So plenty Amber, and so they don't check out in the background. Where now one of the reasons why they cry, money no day, manpower no day, all kind of thing, it crumble. Someone contribute them. As I talk for this statement, say in 2018 they were actually believing that the USA supported their madness, because they were screaming on Facebook that human rights, self-defense, or human rights, self-defense. They actually think, say, because American Constitution, they talk about human rights, self-defense, and the right to bear arms. They think it so. If you go commit crimes against the United States Constitution, America will look and okay, because they think, say, if you go protect human, oh my God, the people that do massa. Honestly, they will actually believe in their own stupidity. Okay, my computer, I'll come back to this black legism. I'll come back to that. Make I enter inside the juicy part. Now the document this way, where we'll get them, where I want for show now today. Okay, so now the main event is for this broadcast. Now we will day at the peak. We don't get more than 200 people they watch we. Right. So we only need even at 30 people, then would they just fine, because they not sensitization. This, if those 30, 2 of them are journalists, that's fine, because they will go write the newspaper articles and then hundreds of thousands, if not millions, they see them. So when I see them on the screens right now, my country people, them, if you look at the top there, the file that document now when this one now 2021, I zoom in for now where we know if see them properly. So now this one, the file them now 29th of June 2021. Today now number 7 day for July 2021. We means everything. They filed this document now 1 week ago, about 8 days ago. Okay, now 8 days ago they filed this document. So this document be fresh. They file them in to the United States Department of Justice. I'm in that U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, District of Maryland. I'm very well. Okay, so now all of this it be filed in this June 2021. But the investigation itself, it be starting since 2019. Make una understand that one. The investigation and everything. This document now, when they don't already arrive at the point where Roger, where Mashona, I named that. I named that no. Nafisiano on the screen. I named that. Okay, so I will explain some of these documents and since from 1 or 2 years ago. I will explain for now how it all tie in. Why we only file this particular one for 2021 June. Okay, so this whole thing is start now with Tamofos and Michael. As now understand now why that whenever when I read any charges, them I'll come to that in a second. But I want to show you something. For example, whenever I want to see they write anything when it comes to the indictment, they always refer to this date, July 19th, 2019. They always refer to that date, July 19th, 2019, because it revolves around Tamofor St. Michael. Because Tamofor St. Michael, now the first person that way they will indict him. What happened? So Tamofor St. Michael, now the kick of the first domino, and then the other dominoes they start fall. And that's how it happens, okay? Now, ye be the first one, like the raindrop where it start the avalanche. It start now with Tamofor St. Michael, okay? From Tamofor St. Michael, now what that is here, they start talk about you did conspire, confederate, blah, 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 with others, known and unknown. So the others where they be unknown, how they could then know the others? Now, from your communications. If you don't give them the communications willingly, they will subpoena you, they will seize your communication like laptops, phone and stuff like that, and access those communications then without your permission. They can do that. We're talking about a United States Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms and Ammunition. The FBI, they will access your devices whether you like them or not if they get the right subpoena from the courts, which they can attain. So as of the talk, so the first person with the indictment, July 2019, na Tamofor St. Michael. Tamofor St. Michael will be the work with, guess who? Roger Akem. Guess who else? Mangang. And then when I say how the dominoes they fall, no so. But now we will start. So 2019 for July, where they arrest Tamofor St. Michael from the investigation now. They see your communications and you link to Roger Akem. And now in that way, now they shift the investigation. Now they don't process Tamofor St. Michael case. They indict you, they seal them, and then they work with ye. He plead guilty. He talks, okay, I go cooperate. And this document, before I even go too far, I want to show now, make I give an appetizer. This table I'll come, it tell how many years in prison it go face them. And then my show na his signature. So at the talk now wait away it be sealed from na document will come out from the United States court. No na me make them up. So when I see him for here, now if see him now, I'll come to this in a minute. Now the date that on the 31st of March 2020, now in that Roger Akem, now his signature that he signed him. He signed this document. He signed now the plea bargain this, now the plea deal this way he enter with the United States District Attorney. For talk say, I go snitch. I go tell you everything where you need them. So that mean when I not send me for prison for all these years, then where they put them for up here. So where they put them for up here. So make we go now in this for this table. So make we go through the document step by step for help now. Make we understand I'm fine. So now it says here United States versus Roger Akem on Akem boom say. Dear Mr. Olensky, why did they write now Mr. Olensky? Now because Mr. Olensky, na fisiam Robert Olensky Esquire, na a barrister, na lawyer, na Roger Akem, a lawyer, okay. And at this time, for this 2020, where Roger Akem able to pay this lawyer, Mr. Olensky. Now who be the pay illegal bills? Now which that one I get to understand. Who be the pay? Now Ambazonia Foundation Inc. or now you want able to suffer for the pay illegal bills because this Mr. Robert Olensky Esquire. Now he addressed that. Now a professional office addressed that. Where being as a lawyer, where he represent Roger Akembom. Who will pay? Who will pay this lawyer? So AMBA, they will contribute money for one man country for pay lawyers' fees. Now very, very, very interesting and very legitimate question that I ask, but I digress. So now this one, now the United States government, as they're talking for here, the United States government, now that they write them at the top here, the United States State or the Department of Justice, they write them to Robert Olensky, when a lawyer for Roger Akembom. Then they write them to ye. They write this letter now for March the 18th, 2020. They tell ye lawyer, say, wait, okay, now in this algorithm for now. So United States DOJ, Department for Justice, it write to Roger Akembom through ye lawyer, say, Dear Mr. Olensky, this letter, together with the sealed supplement, confirms the plea agreement, Nasiam, contains or confirms the plea agreement, this agreement that has been offered to your client, Roger Akem, aka Roger Akembom, hereinafter the defendant, by the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Maryland, which is this office. If the defendant accepts this offer, please have the defendant execute it in spaces provided below. If this offer has not been accepted by Friday the 3rd of April 2020, it will be deemed withdrawn. The terms of the agreement are as follows. So this one, now literally the agreement where the United States Attorney's Office, it sent the agreement to Roger Akem through your lawyer. They ask a lawyer for go through the agreement. And then after I don't go through the agreement, it go call a client when a Roger Akem and then advise you whether for plead guilty for accept this plea deal or not for accept the plea deal. Okay? And then I go read one at the terms and conditions of the plea deal and everything. So now the tell you say the offenses of conviction as one, the defendant, it go agree for waive indictment and plead guilty to a 2-count information to a 2-count information to be filed or to be filed against him, charging the defendant with conspiracy to violate this criminal code and also violation of the Arms Export Control Act of blah 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 blah. The defendant admits that the defendant is in fact guilty of those offenses and will so advise the court. So which way they talk for you now? Say the offenses say if Roger Akembom is signed this document and I don't really show you the signature where he sign up. I don't really show you say he sign up. So if he signed this document, it agree, say it agree for waive the indictment means everything. It agree say the United States District no need for indictee before they even indictee. It don't already plead guilty. I am guilty. I surrender. You can una take me. I am yours. I belong to you. Anything you want, I will give you. I am guilty. Now what is this way? This document it talk say it waive the indictment and he plead guilty to 2 counts. So now the information that will be filed against him, charging the defendant with conspiracy. So they tell you the charges the way that they prepare them for file against you. So they ask you in advance whether I want for cooperate, plead guilty or not. And then if no one cooperate, they go file the charges and they take it go for court. Simple as that. So they say elements of the offenses. They said the elements of the offenses to which the defendant has agreed to plead guilty and which this office would provide or proof if the case went to trial are as follows. So the district attorney tell you say, now what is this way you plead guilty to? They tell you exactly what way you plead guilty to, and then they tell you say, if you no plead guilty, we will take you go for court, and now wait this way we will prove you guilty of doing. They say that on or about the time alleged in the information, in the District of Maryland, the defendant and at least one other person entered into an unlawful agreement. This one at the count 1 of the conspiracy. At least one other person. When the talk say at least, because they don't know how many people they be, but they know say at least one more. And that one more where they talk about, in name, they could write in name here sooner or later. Now who? Tamu 4 St. Michael. Okay, so now they say, the purpose of the agreement was to commit violations of United States law. So ye enter into an agreement to do something which was unlawful, and the purpose was to commit violations of U.S. law, and the defendant, Roger Akem, knowingly and willfully became a member of this conspiracy, and the defendant or a co-conspirator committed at least one overt act in furtherance of that conspiracy. So not just say they conspire to commit a crime, they actually commit them. They actually commit at least one of the crime where they plan for doing. My tell us my conspiracy sometimes and how the United States justice system it work. Sometimes they, because their system, even for United Kingdom and many other countries, they be based on evidence. Okay, you get to find some person guilty without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. The jury get to look at the case and they talk, say, I no doubt this person say be guilty. So the burden of proof is there now on the district attorneys for proof. So in order for them for proof your case without a shadow of a doubt, sometimes the way they wait for you for actually commit the crime so that they catch you in the act. Especially if in a crime way, it no go cause any person in life for be lost. Okay. So in this particular incident, if they know say the crime where they want to commit them or where they plan for commit them, now for ship containers to a container to Nigeria where it get explosives, get weapons inside, and that one a crime. So in order for make sure say the case it be solid, where they go must convict them, where they go they need to catch them red-handed or right-handed, whatever word you want to use, and they need to catch them red-handed committing the crime. So what I think the United States attorneys they could do, the agents where they investigate the crime, they could lie low, collect the information, and then monitor one. As when they commit a crime, they keep a detailed record. They could even send a team for tell one for talks. Okay, at this date, on this day, at this time. They could even tell you if it was rainy or if it was sunny, because they write all that details down, because depending on how the temperature of the day or the weather climate, it would determine your actions. And for example, even how you dress, maybe you could wear warm clothes or you could wear just t-shirt, and all those details they matter, because now what is where they get for prove them in court in order for get a conviction. So in order for them to get these people they get to actually sit back, they record and they watch everything where they do them. And they actually load the container, and they actually go, when they want to talk about this charge, they actually go fill in the information for the container. They deliberately falsify the information, and they ship the container. Now, after they don't ship the container, the United States organization, the ATF, they know that they don't already load the container of the ship, and the ship it don't already leave. Then at that time, the United States or attorney generals now and the investigators, they know say they don't catch them red-handed. You know why? Because they go climb on top of that ship and they tell the ship to come back. And when the ship come back, and when I will see the evidence there, when they bring back the ship, and then they open the ship, they open the container, and then they search them. Forget the evidence red-handed. I hope someone hear me. So now why did I talk say for foolish person, all what you need for doing now for give you enough rope and enough time, he go hang himself. He go hang himself. Very dull people then. So now which that way it be happen. In order for them for catch them red-handed, for make sure say they plead guilty, for make sure say they convict them, they be get for let them commit the crime. And sometimes in order for let them commit the crime, it could take months, it could take maybe even years for them to actually commit the crime, for reach for the level where you could gather enough evidence, and then you catch them in the act, and then they fall for your trap. And that is it. So when I see them, now the charges, and that's so they tell them, say the penalties. Now if you see them on the screens for now, if it be bright enough for now for see them, I hope so. Now if you read them for yourselves, yes, I think so. So it talk now say wait, on count 1. Now the statute that U.S. Criminal Code blah 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 blah, it no get a minimum prison sentence. None of them get minimum sentence, but they get a maximum. On count 1, conspiracy. Now 5 years maximum prison sentence where you could serve them for prison. Okay, and if you also get a supervised release after 3 years or something like that. I don't know exactly what that color mean, but I know what a supervised release mean. It means say you no go to prison, you go serve. They give you prison term, but then it be suspended. Now so I think that's what we call them for Europe. It be suspended, which means that you go serve the prison sentence for your own house, and in that time when you do supervised prison release, supervised release, you know if you commit any other crime. If you commit any crime at all, even not just say you throw a paper for roadway, you're not supposed to throw them, you go back for prison. Okay, and then you get a maximum fine of $250,000 for count 1, and about $1 million on count 2. Forget about that right hand column. So what we want to need for worry about now these two. Say the maximum prison sentence where if you get them on count 1 now 5 years, the maximum on count 2 at 20 years. So in total, Tamofo St. Michael and Mangang and Waters Muma and this guy Roger Akem, they face charges of a maximum prison sentence of 25 years. Okay, so now the prison term that they could serve from 0 to 25 years. Between that 0 to 25 years when found guilty. And for this particular guy, Roger Akem, he don't already plead guilty. He don't already sign on the paper say I am guilty. You know everyone go court. You know everyone go court. He don't already can sign and say I beg when I get too much evidence I am guilty. Mark go show one again because that particular one is sweet me go past. My show one at the signature. Now in that now say I'm no. Now the signature that we sign. Now handwriting this SK go deny. Now Roger Akem. Now in that he sign up on this date, the 31st of March 2020. Because when I know for America they always write the month first and then day and then year. Now, so the right time. So that one at the 31st of March 2020, where Roger Akem is signed on the dotted line. So he don't already sign, he don't already plead guilty, and he don't already enter a plea bargain, where it means that it work now against Ambazonia for catch the rest of them. Okay. Now, so prison, as they talk today, they say, if the court orders a term of imprisonment, the Bureau of Prisons has the sole discretion to designate the institution at which it will be served. So after you go, once you don't plead guilty now, no point, no day for get any trial. Now they could just sentence you. And now when I will ask Mr. Countryman, because it don't already plead guilty since 2020, why it takes so long for the indictment for come out for 2021, and why it takes so long for this document for be filed for June 2021. Now, because in the background, they will work with ye, with the information where ye they provide them for indict other people. Now, the terms of the plea deal that, my country people. Now, why that way? They will seal all this indictment since 2020 for 1 whole year for catch other people then. Maybe serve Chris Anu, Sako, and all the other people them like Mangang and the rest. Maybe they don't even know. Say this guy, he inside that shit. He inside that trouble. Maybe they don't even know. And I go tell one. I will explain for now. Because at that time, the only thing where it go help you forget a reduced prison sentence. Now how much information is selling? Now business, now arrangement. So they go ask you, say, what do you have? Do you have anything to give us? We can reduce your prison sentence because you don't really plead guilty. So give us something. If you don't get nothing, well, we'll go talk to the judge. We'll tell the judge, say, me throw the book at you. Me give you the maximum prison sentence. If you give me some good intel, we'll go talk to the judge. We'll go fix things with the judge and see how judge. Now, what now they come for here says, not even restitution. No, not that. Waiver of rights, blah blah blah. No, I will come to that. If I see him, I will talk to him about him. It's there somewhere where the judge, where the United States District Attorney, if you talk to the judge and then ask the judge for reduce your prison sentence, and most of the time it could be based on mitigating factors. For example, if you really work hard with the district attorney for catch other people the way they commit the crimes with you, your co-conspirators, then it go plead with the judge, so may they reduce your prison sentence, because at the moment it faced 25 years imprisonment, 25 years. So they could tell you, say, okay, we should advise the judge, say, make it give you 5 years. It means that you save 20 years of your life. You think that Ambazonia be worth 20 years of your life? Mm-hmm. Me, I go take up any day. Any day, anytime. If they tell me now, say, myself, Amba, whatever, even take one granus, as Amba they call them, I go sell them sins. In fact, I go dash lost my soul. So, okay, now, whatever they talk about prisoners, say, once they don't find you guilty, and if the judge, it decides, say, you get to go for prison, now the Bureau of Prisons will decide which prison you go to. Supervised release, the same thing, the court and whatnot, they go arrange that one. Restitution, it means, say, you need for pay some money, for pay for the crime where you commit them, and then payment, if a fine or restitution is imposed, blah, 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 go happen. Forfeiture means that they go seize your properties them because they don't plead guilty. If the judge sees that they need for seize some properties them, now what it is will go happen and they go collect the debts, blah, blah, blah. They give you all the information where you need them before you even make up your mind, before you even sign on that dotted line. And then they tell you, say, now the rights then this way, you the waive them. Where it means, say, when you plead guilty, it go waive away these rights them where you get them. And as I don't already talk, any person where you want to find out about this information, make it just go to www.countrypeople.com. You enter for the Roger Akem search. Okay, man, show now quickly. If you watch this live broadcast, or if you see the information we put on the screens properly. So if you just go to www.countrypeople.com, now the home page is for the website. If you wanna see search, now search sign this now. Now in that, so if you just click on search, and then you enter for the, say for example, you enter Roger Akem. Now all that we need for do, you type Roger Akem, click search, then you wait a few seconds or press enter for your keyboard. You wait a few seconds for the page to reload, and then you could get this search result. Now only 2 articles, and we don't ever write them for this website where you get Roger Akem name for the, that one we will do on 2019, and this one we'll do on today. And it did like say we'll get more. We'll get this one. No, GCE results. No way. This one, financing Ambazonia. It did like we don't write about it before as well. For this one, we'll say financing Ambazonia. Also, in name Roger Akem come out. We don't write about it. Now in this, we don't write about it plenty times though. See, contraband, they discovered this one, and now we don't write about it before. Twice. So when I say I'm under Ambazonia Consulting Inc., Echu Tabinyang, Roger Akem, Samuel Sako, for this Ambazonia Southern Cameroon's Relief Fund Limited Association, or whatever, Ambazonia Foundation Inc., and all of this information. So at the right time, wait me I talk, I said the fundraising operations detected during these investigations were recorded between February 2018 and March 2019. Now remember, I say, as I write this information, so by July, 2 months after July 2019, now that time that they arrest Tamofos and Michael, okay? So I guarantee when I say FBI, it check out country people. And no be joke, not reality. Because for example, when you investigate person like Roger Akem, you investigate person like Tamofos and Michael, the first thing, as I tell you, even if you've been an investigative journalist, or you've been an FBI, you've been an ATF agent or whatever, the first thing when you could do, I'm not saying with it, you could Google your name. Just type your name for Google search. And when you type Tamofos and Michael, Roger Akem name for Google search, and I don't already show now with example, one of the links and the information will come up now with it, www.countrypeople.com. I don't tell you now the reason that we create this website in the first place. Me, I never first even know I don't write about this guy multiple times. I never first know. So now I start write, I talk about it. I said in the Bank of America in the USA, wherein the association is holder to check number, this and that. Within 1 year, its transaction carried out in the American cities of San Jose, California, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Marietta, Malden, Massachusetts, Bowie, Greenbelt, Hyattsville, Roxville, blah, 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 is worth 945, almost $1 million US. Almost 1 million. So these credit supplies are transacted from certain individual accounts as well as the accounts of the Ambazonia Foundation Inc. Association of Miss Helen Akonji. So when I don't see them, I don't start link them. I put plus picture. Helen Akonji. Okay? Helen Akonji. Put the details them. Put your name. See, I give you the savings account number, the aforementioned accounts of Ambazonia Foundation Inc. Association lodged in the Bank of America, which have recorded financial flows in favor of the Ambazonia Consulting Inc. Association are as follows. Savings account number this, account number this. When I think the FBI, not they here they check, FBI, they all these accounts, them FBI, they inside. And some of that information, they can't collect them now from country people. So when Eric Tato can't tell and say countryman is a comic relief, whatever nonsense, say countryman, no man no go quote countryman. Right now for United States District Attorney, for agents and FBI to ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, they look na countryman website. I know be first even knows I don't write about the Shumbu. I know be know. But look, I give them the lowdown. I said during this period under review, the accounts of these two accountants, Ambazuna Foundation Inc. and Ambazuna Consulting Inc., operating in the Bank of America in the United States, recorded credit transactions without valid jurisdictions or without valid justifications for a total amount of 1.4 million US dollars. Okay, the main contributors to the credit accounts cited above are Sebastien Barikou, Helena Konji, Frank Abang or Abange, Ambazonia Mission AGC, whatever from that association. You get Tabenyang HU, the company USAIDA belonging to Helen Akonji, and Skakuf Foundation. Now for this, when you talk about Skakuf, then you start bringing in people them like Princess Harriet Fomenki, and the rest. When I see how now the snowball effect is, Contriman don't write about these things, and Contriman don't be a journalist. So all when I watch journalists, when I call ourselves journalists from Cameroon, when I see how when I'm supposed to do a job now. When I say I want to do investigative journalism, when I put things them down way, it will help for save people their lives, even years in advance, years to come in the future. Time I be write this thing, they publish them. I be know the consequences in the future, but I know actually knows that it will work this much. It could be this effective. So investigations have shown that the large part of the funds mobilized in these accounts of these associations at the Bank of America in the United States are transferred to Nigeria. Where? USA to Nigeria. Country people them. I write this thing years ago. Now, which day I write this thing? Financing Ambazonia terrorism in Cameroon. September the 2nd, 2019. September 2019. At the time where they will investigate Tamofos and Michael, the indictee now for the 19th of July, 2019. July. Okay, July, August, September, 2 months after, not even up to 2 months, 1.5 months after, when I see what the Contriman write about them, explain exactly what they will do. So the criminal activity where they will investigate them for, where they catch Tamofos and Michael, now smuggling weapons. But guess what way they go catch Sako Ikome and the rest for? Now, money palava, l'argent. Now, what's that way they go catch them for? Now, money palava. Where many of them go prison for. Now money palava. When I repeat them with me. Now palava money. Now for the reason that many of them go prison now palava money. No, not even that gone. Because no, not all man be touch gone. But people the way they donate, people the way they chop the money, people the way they falsify documents them, they raise money fraudulently, and then they disburse the money fraudulently. Now those people they go for prison for financial issues them. So now why do we continue? It is focused on financing Ambazona terrorism in Cameroon. I wanna see I'm continuing right now. I put plus pictures. Now Tabenyang that, now Sako that. Okay, I put plus pictures them. I put their names them. I put bank account numbers them. All kind of thing. Okay, now in this I write down for you. USA transferred to Nigeria. When I remind me again, time they catch St. Michael, Tamofos St. Michael. If they do not wait, if they transfer ammunition from the United States to whose side? So when I first see the link, when I see how you connect now, United States to Nigeria. So the US ATF, FBI, and all of these national security agents and whatnot, I guarantee when I say they don't troll through this website. I guarantee una. Okay. So now, so you get I names them. I get names them. Ivo Tanku Tapang, one of the most violent and radical secessionists. Okay. Now, Echu Tabinyang, I read about you. Who be Echu Tabinyang? I say he is registered as the co-manager of the Ambazona Consulting Inc. Association together with Samuel Ekome, but some sources state that Mrs. Helen Akonji would be the real promoter of this association in addition to the so-called Ambazona Foundation Inc. Tabinyang is one of the people who supplied the bank accounts of the Ambazona Consulting Inc. Association without any justification on the origin of the funds. Okay, when I see the link now, who be Samuel Ekome Sako? Journalist, are you reading? When I see when I go for Country Money website, countrypeople.com, the information there for free. Samuel Ekome Sako talks Sako without an H. So he is one of the co-managers of Ambazona Consulting Inc. He is equally a U.S. resident offender who was prosecuted and convicted for credit card fraud in 2017. Una see them, they be done already where now person this way amber fools they take them, put them like their president. It means una get a pile of granite and then una go find the biggest arata where they don't really catch and cut in one hand because they thief granite. Una go leave that arata, make it begin guard una granite una. Now what it is with these fools they do am with my trip to Boya. Honestly. Okay. But did they even check? Did they do a background check on Sako? Because if una think say if countryman if it put down this report, one man, individual, one man, if it come up with this information, publish and for help them, but they still not get sense. They still not get sense. And then okay. Anyway, I say they be prosecuted for convicted for credit card fraud in 2017 to the detriment of Capital One banks, JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo Bank. Okay, Southern Cameroon Relief Fund Limited. Now one of the 501c company this way to be former. All these things, them now information now. If you go for the District of Maryland, their official website, you type this name for the, it will bring out their information. Said it be registered by this, on this date at this time by this person. Yes. So even as until a countryman just pull them out of the wazoo. No. Now information where we do investigative reporting, we'll go investigate and we'll bring and we'll compile and we'll publish them for free. So now I say this Southern Cameroon Relief Fund Limited is registered association in the USA since February 2018 at Tewuna plus the date with Christensia Asong. I don't think there's some name there for Amber of who is in Amber where I never write down for this report. Christensia Akunju Asong as the manager, its declared objective is to support the populations of southwest regions of Cameroon, but her publications in various social networks, Twitter, Facebook, and etc., state that financial support in different ways for the total independence of Southern Cameroons. So they registered the association under false pretense, and then now they go collect money under false pretense again. We want to understand that difference. Now, I even come and talk about this one, Helen Akonji. Now in that, Umasha put the picture. I say she doesn't want to talk. I will not stop until she explains why while they created the 419 scam to steal money from the suffering of our people in Cameroon. I am just getting started. I tell when I say countryman, we just start. Maybe so now 2019 this. I tell when I say I'm just getting started. Operation Sunshine. Now Helen Akonji that I put plus the picture out. Okay, now we talk say between 2018 and 2019, her account number blah 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 lodged in the Bank of America received a cumulative deposit which amounted to $48,000 plus US dollars. These funds are collected from different cities in the United States, notably Hyattsville, Maryland, Silver Spring, and Columbia, the DMV area. As part of the cooperation between the Financial Intelligence Unit and members of the the institution wrote to some intelligence unit requesting them to highlight potential networks whose activities are raising funds abroad for the benefit of secessionist terrorist groups operating in the northwest and southwest regions. This note shows the financial transactions registered mainly in the United States, including the following physical and legal persons known to be at the center of Ambazonia Foundation Inc., Ambazonia Mission AGC, Frank Enwanji Ebange. Okay, the Ambazonia Foundation, aka Ambazonia Foundation Inc., alias US Ambazonia Foundation Inc., is registered in the Trade Register Maryland State under this number. So like I tell you now the registration number that for that Ambazonia Foundation Inc. and that these two organizations, the organization has two addresses in Maryland. That one, 9407 Myrtle Avenue, Bowie, and I don't tell you now this address. Now Helen Akonji he own and 3705 Clearview Drive, Bowie, Maryland. Its legal representative is Helen Akonji. I don't tell you now. So the Ambazonia Mission, blah 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 blah, is registered in Ohio, USA, under registration number blah blah blah. It has the following addresses. Now the address that, okay. So network number one, the operations described in this network cover the period from the June 26th to September 06, 2018. Their transactions registered in the Bank of America, City of Charlotte in North Carolina amount to $224,000 US dollars. They involve Ambazonia Foundation organization and Mr. Sebastian Mbariku, blah 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 blah. Unafisiam agiuna dates date, account holder, name, Bank of America, Bank of America, Bank of America, transactions, everything, the origin of the funds, and the justification of transfer recorded in the account of Mr. Mbariku are not established. So when you start transfer this kind of huge amount of money, $270,000 and whatnot, without justification, this and the kind of things, and this way they prompt investigation. You get Judith Azar, account holder number this, Bank of America, Matthew Amberitu. So when I take note of these names, and when I start now names and this one I know we don't ever hear them. For example, which one of when I fit type of comment section, which one of them I don't ever hear about Roger Akem? When I don't ever hear about Walter's Muma, when I don't ever hear about Tamofos and Michael, because the only name of all these four people the way I know so they don't indict them, the only one way me have know na Mangang. The rest of them are non-entities, the way no man will ever know. But for these documents, them when I take note of these names them from now, because my names and say when I go start know say they don't indict them, because as this part talk them, it talk them for years say they don't indict na 13 of them. I guarantee when I say some of them now these names and where I call them for years so. When the other indictments they be unsealed, because at the moment they still be sealed, when the other indictments they don't unseal them, then I can't do another live broadcast for them. I guarantee when I say some of those names them, countryman be don't already write about them. It would they here. I think guarantee when okay. So I give them the lowdown, I give them the connections and all these things. Them I know some person be there where it be right, it be prepare this report for me. Where I know if it reveal your name. But it been a one big black leg, but it don't take a back seat now for blacklegism. Yeah, for 2018, 2019, it been a big black leg for social media, but because of family responsibilities, it no fit continue. So, network number 2, we talk about Ambassador Foundation, Mark Barretta, okay, born 15th of December 2010. Why did I say 2010? And resident in Ghent, in Belgium. And it's not 2010, and I don't know his date of birth. I need for double check and I mistake that. And Roland Omene, born, why this date? Living in Fort Worth, Texas. The financial transactions described in this network cover the period of 17th of February. So from PayPal, Tapang Ivor's PayPal account, we'll get the details, we'll get all the information. Mark Barretta's PayPal account, we'll get Ambassador Foundation PayPal account, and all of these things. Then you get my trip to Boya. I knew it. So the supplies, in addition to supplies ordered by Tapang, Barretta's PayPal account also received offers, deposits from people of all walks of life. All these entries are part of an online fundraising campaign launched under the term or the theme, My Trip to Boya. It was a fundraising aimed at supporting terrorist operations in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Via his PayPal account, Barretta sends funds to Mr. Roland Omene's PayPal account number, which also receives funds coming from Ambassador Foundation. Mr. Roland Omene is also a fundraiser for secessionist organization in the southwest. Blah, 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 blah. I give una all the lowdown. I give una plus the incorporation, Ambassador Foundation Inc., the incorporator for Maryland. I named that Festus. When I remember that telephone call, we get with Festus now. I still get the information. Blaise Che, Richard Tangu, Victorine Nyangni, and all these people there. Now their signatures in that on Ambassador Foundation Inc. They registered that organization now on the 3rd of January 2019. By July 2019, they don't already start arrest them. Tamofos and Michael, they don't already start indicting. Network number 3, it goes to Frank and Noni, whatever, Nafisian for day. GoFundMe. Now remember, GoFundMe in the Facebook, blah, 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 blah. But now they don't ever go for GoFundMe again because we, the black list, will block anything we want to for GoFundMe. So Ambassador Defense Forces of Ayabacho Lucas. I don't think some Amber will no exist for this particular article where continue to write them. So direct account, blah, blah, JP Morgan, Chase Bank, and the rest, Cash App, GoFundMe, will give the lowdown, give them all the information in there. Network number 4, we'll get Blaise Kamsi, another name that Ambassador Mission, AGC, check number this, booklet, account number this. Will get the information where FBI just can't fear, they go in a gold mine. Now, why this will continue to publish this information? Kingsley Fonjong, account number this, Frank and Not Abang, Ellen Walonla, all these names them. They go start to indict them one by one. They go start to fill the Constitution of Bank of America. They investigate them all. Maybe they don't already enter inside plea bargain already. Because, my explain something for that. I still come back for that Roger Akemi own. I just want to show you this one. You get these names them like Clavenda Conte, Solange Nzense, Evelyn Musi, Fatmata Barry, Aldrin Jankam, and blah 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 blah. Kamsi's Taxi Relief Solutions. You get, okay. Remember, I even give you plus Helen Akonji address plus picture. Everything now for that address where the Ambassador Foundation Inc. be registered for Bowie. I give you everything. Network number 5. Give you the names, all things them. Now just say the article long. All journalists them when I need for go look at this article. Okay. I even give you names of people the way they make the transactions to in Nigeria. Okay, we write all that information down. Okay. Okay, my computer network number 7, network number 8. I get names aplenty. General information about Frank Abang said between 2009 and 2014, Frank Abange was cited in several denunciations in the United States in connection with fraud and purchases he made online, notably the purchase of counterfeit goods, fraudulent purchases, as well as the purchase of prohibited items. The purchase, the purchase of prohibited items. Now, exactly the reason that way Roger Akem go prison for. And you also get other ones like Walter Muma, Tamofos and Michael. They purchase guns, forbid or what we call them prohibited items. Make you understand. And then they try for export them. They get their PayPal accounts and the rest of the information, blah, 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 blah. I get so much detail, information, dates, times, and whatnot. So, Operation Sunshine. I be tell you now Operation Sunshine now you go kill Amber. Now in this. Now Operation Sunshine this way I be publish this document. Wait a minute. Toyota short. Chassis number, blah, 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 blah. Even get chassis number. Okay. He owns the following 7 vehicles. Who are we talking about here? Talking about someone where he get maybe Narastin Frank Abange. He gets 7 motor them and will get plus the chassis numbers: a Jeep Wrangler, Suzuki Grand Vitara, Mercedes-Benz sedan, BMW this, Ford Contour, Lexus this, Toyota short chassis number this. I give you plus details. This is the KBI. My country people them. Now KBI file this. KBI. This one said na digressing where I digress. I know before you know see that article exists. So now we will go back to the main event. We'll get time. So for the main event, the defendant, the talk now say with it. He go waive certain rights them if he plead guilty. The first right where he go waive him now say with it. If he plead guilty, the defendant he must first understand say by entering into this agreement, the defendant surrenders certain rights. Such as 1, if the defendant had pled not guilty and persisted in the plea, the defendant would have had the right, blah, blah, blah. So basically, if you be plead guilty, you get right to a speedy jury of your peers, where you either decide if judge will judge you, or you get a jury of 12 people, then where they will select them randomly. And then the defendant also elect a jury trial. If he elect a jury trial, now what is going to happen? If the defendant go for jury, for trial, the government would have the burden of proof to provide the defendant guilty, to prove that the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant would have the right to confront and cross-examine the government's witnesses. So this case now between the United States government and Roger Akem. So the burden of proof is then now on the government, because now the government is accused of committing these crimes. And now why that will be very important for the government, the agents, the ATF and FBI agents, for carry out their investigations thoroughly, for make sure that they leave no stone unturned, and therefore making sure that when they reach for court, they go get a guilty conviction, or at least you plead guilty before they even go to court. So now, if the defendant they be found guilty after the trial, the defendant would have the right to appeal the verdict, blah, blah, blah. So by pleading guilty, the defendant will be given up, he will give up all of those rights. By pleading guilty, you don't get no right of appeal. You don't get no right for challenge the sentence. You don't get no right for challenge what the court it go on for do with you if you plead guilty without a trial. And you know if it then decide, say, no, I want to change my plea, I want to get a trial. No. Once you plead guilty, you plead guilty. You know if it appeal, you know if it talk say, you know if you get lawyer time you plead guilty. No, because now your lawyer, first of all, now why that way they send this document to your lawyer, your counsel, it would then counsel you. And I know say some the things say countryman it talk. I need to talk counsel because I know say some people that the things say at the talk counsel. No, I mean a counsel at the talk. I mean counsel. Now what's that way countryman it talk? I mean you could get a counsel where they go counsel you, where they go advise you, give you good advice, where you go pay for. And if you know if it pay, the state it go pay. But obviously when the state it pay, they will find you in the cheapest lawyer way. I don't even know what for America they pay for you now for United Kingdom and other European countries and when are socialist countries where they could pay your counsel, your legal counsel. I don't know whether America get that system where they pay for your legal counsel or whether the people they just work now pro bono. I don't know. So they also advise you say if the court accepts your plea or your plea deal of guilty, then you as a defendant will be giving up the right to file and have the court rule on pre-trial motions. So it means that you don't go get no pre-trial motions. You give up that right. By pleading guilty, you also give up certain valuable civil rights and may be subject to deportation or other loss of immigration status. Well, when I see that one, I hope so when I see that one fine. If you plead guilty, you give up valuable civil rights and may be subject to deportation or other loss of immigration status, including possible deneutralization. Wait, I need to highlight this word for una see I'm fine. Okay? Make we highlight them for una. Make una see I'm fine because that word deneutralization. What is deneutralization? Denaturalization. What do you mean they talk? What is denaturalization mean? Sorry, say the quality it don't be a little bit bad for the video. I go zoom in instead. Okay, zoom in. Me wanna say I'm fine. Denaturalization. Now the word that way I be struggle for pronouncing. I know say English. My first language. My first language. Now my country talk. I be Momo man. My second language now Pidgin. English now number 3. Actually now number 4 self because my number 3 language now body language. So now in that I hope so when I see I'm fine on the screen. So when I see I'm fine on the screen, when I type them, send them for comment section. Now in this I did read on the comments. When I type them, send them for comment section. When I type them, I see what I want to read the comments for myself. Denaturalization. When I type them, send them for comment section. I want to see when I comments for comment section before I continue this live broadcast. For no say when I see I'm fine. Denaturalization. What it means wait. If you don't already be naturalized as an American citizen, you get green card, you get American citizenship and everything. Okay? You be naturalized American citizen. They go denaturalize you. They go seize your passport and they go send you back exactly where you come from. Now America talk, no be countryman talk for their legal document. When I type, I'm sending for comment section, master. Yes, just in case, talks a loss of donkey. Yes, Tapang Nicholas talks a denaturalization. Yes, now in that. Rostan Amand is a denaturalization. Now in that. When I see him, Barebo, Nicolon Bankwade house. My countryman, 1 chance is 2 chance. Akurobonga, Akurotu, will mash fire, will continue. Now in that. So wait till the American Department for Justice, a talk for Roger Akem. Man, read that part again, part H. When I end this for here, so. They say, by pleading guilty, the defendant will also be giving up certain valuable civil rights. Your civil rights, you give them up. Give up your civil rights. And may be subject to deportation or other loss of immigration status, including possible denaturalization. The defendant recognizes that if the defendant is not a citizen of the United States or is a naturalized citizen, it means that even if you are a naturalized citizen, by pleading guilty, you may have consequences with respect to the defendant's immigration status. Under the federal law, conviction for a broad range of crimes can lead to adverse immigration consequences, including automatic removal from the United States. One goes, Mazumam in meuna siam fine. Una siam no automatic removal from the United States. Because you commit crimes, you can be automatic. It means that as soon as you finish serve your prison sentence, automatic. Where I hope someone know the meaning of the word automatic. It means that we need a joke, we need to dilly-dally, we need to play tabala. Automatic. It means that it just happen bang, bang, bang. It means that as you go prison, bam. By the time where you want to serve your prison sentence can't finish, they don't already start process your documents then for move you. Immediately you come off of that prison, so bam. You go now to airport, bam. You go. Ma ask una some questions, ma contribute them. Una know why Jasangji there for Cameroon. Una know why Jasangji not there for America, there for Cameroon. If una make a digress small, ma contribute, ma digress small. I want to search Njasangji. Any person will get an opportunity, search the word Njasangji for your Google machine. Okay, now so the spelling Njasangji. Okay, when you don't type Njasangji, click search. Okay, if you search Njasangji, now news article this way will come up from the New York Times. The New York Times, okay? They write that article from New York Times on the 29th of May 2005. Okay? Njasangji, BB, 26 years old at that time, 2005. Access that link. A shooting, blah, 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 blah. Now in that, a shooting and a stabbing take the lives of two men. Now give me 1 second. Man, I get to subscribe for this website in order to read the article. They ask me for subscribe. Say I have to subscribe for 50p a week or whatever. I don't get me money. So maybe we just manage the article. So it talks May 29th, 2005. When I see the date now, by Jennifer Lee, said 2 young fathers were killed around midnight on Friday in 2 violent episodes, a stabbing in the Bronx and a shooting in Brooklyn, the police said yesterday. One of them, Louis, blah, 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 blah. If you read this whole article, when I will see the person where he killed one of those people, he named that today, Njasangji. Njasangji named this, 26 years old. Njasangji, it will be 26 or 2005. Time when they write this article, okay? Njasangji, he go prison for America because of those 2 of that crime where he commit harm. He go prison for America. They no write time for this article. They no write time for this article. Say they repatriate, send them back for Cameroon. But make una understand. Say as I speak, Njasangji there for prison for Cameroon. When I type in name again, when I will say I'm for YouTube, I'd make presentations about now me and Ejenji Kuchiko will catch Njasangji where the plan for bomb SDP for Yaoundé. Okay? If he didn't have for America, he killed some man for America, go prison for America. Time where they move out of prison for America, the next day he land from Somaliland. Yes. They send it back. So me when I know things today, so some person will talk to they say no, they don't send it back for Cameroon. Now example that way I give una right here, right now. So the United States they repatriate people and send for Cameroon every day, especially criminal when a person that way they don't want ye for their country. Where they don't really go prison, come back. So my computer, I don't always tell when I say me kuna no entertain any amber sheet no white blast for this platform. When I always when I need for do, if any amber sheet no white blast leave any comment or whatever, always when I need for do now for tell countryman say ban this one, block this one. Now other one I need for do when I no need for entertain them. Okay, my computer. Now all that dun. So una no worry, we go match fire, una leave any shit no white blast, where it leave any comment, that's fine. We go ban them later on. So as we talk, Njasangji They send it back for Cameroon. They repatriate it after a serve a prison sentence for America. So when I visit, they say you will be automatically removed if the court decide. Automatically removed from the United States. Removal and other immigration consequences are the subject of a separate proceeding. Where it means that after you don't plead guilty, then a separate proceeding, they go then decide, decide whether they need to remove you out of the Cameroon or not, out of the United States or not. That one, it not be part of this particular court case. Now just other consequences. Then that way you feel face them because say you come for America, you naturalize, and then you commit crime for America. Now the consequences that you feel face them. So, and the defendant must also understand say no one, including the defendant's attorney or the court, can predict with certainty the effect of a conviction on your immigration status. So your lawyer enough to predict what will happen. The court enough to predict what will happen. Even the district attorney, where it is sue you for court, enough to predict which way it will happen as your immigration status be concerned. So no talk say. So you know if you sue your lawyer, say for example, if you plead guilty and then they move you out of the country, you know if you then talk say, and no be no, say the consequence of pleading guilty it means that they will move me or it will change my immigration status. No, you know if it talks because no person enough to predict the consequences of you pleading guilty as far as your immigration status is concerned, because now a different agency, it would then look at you, look at your case, look at how dangerous you be to the society, and then they would decide, say, okay, you'll be a danger to this country, we will move you, like Jasangji, the movie, they put it for plane, send for Cameroon straight, one way. And as a result of that, he no fit ever, even if he no be in prison for Cameroon, he no fit ever get visa again for enter the United States, the UK, New Zealand, Canada, the whole of the EU. Once they don't reject you from one of these kind of countries, you know if you ever get visa for go for that kind of countries again. And for the rest of your life, even till today, when I look for people the way they don't ever apply for visa, people the way they apply for travel documents and things like that, whether not visa or citizenship, whenever they even ask you for that document, say, you don't ever be part of a terrorist organization or an organization that has been deemed a terrorist organization in a different country, where it means say Cameroon, it don't deem Ambazonia a terrorist organization. Now, if any Amba fool, where it don't be a member of Ambazonia, it won't go for apply for visa for any of these countries, any country like Europe, in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the United States, you want to apply for visa for go for those countries or apply for British or for citizenship, you must tick for that box to say yes, you don't be a member of an organization or a group that has been called a terrorist organization. Yes, you get to tick them. You get to tick them. And it will affect whether you get a visa or not. And if you not tick them, that is a crime. And now why that Operation Sunshine, it be so fantastic. When I publish their names on social media, say this person, publish his name and say he is a member of Ambazonia, publish the information and say a terrorist organization designated by the country, and then probably say they be involved in beheadings and all those things. It will affect them in getting visas, it will affect them in traveling, it will affect them in attaining citizenship. That's the one I don't know. But we will know these things. Now, why that way countryman? It create www.countrypeople.com. Some of them, when they just Google their name, like Roger Akem, now the results, this way they get them. So for mass fire, so they give you some advisory sentencing guidelines and whatnot. So they say the defendant understands that, okay, this is not the important part, this for enter a plea deal. So the defendant needs to understand that the court it will determine the sentencing guidelines range for this particular case. So the law talks that crime it will get a minimum of 0 jail term to a maximum of 5 years for count 1, and for count 2 a minimum of 0 to a maximum of 20 years. Now the judge, after I don't listen to the case, now the judge decide your sentencing. Okay, even if you get a jury trial and the trial it end up with a guilty verdict, now still the judge it will then decide for sentence you. The jury not to decide for sentencing. Now only the judge will decide, and the judge will decide on sentencing based on the facts that will be presented for you. In this particular case, the mitigating circumstance where the judge will consider when it comes to sentencing you. Now, for example, like the talk for you say, if you be plead guilty early and then you assist them in the investigation for catch more arata them where they be commit the crimes with you, like your co-conspirators them. If you assist them in catching those co-conspirators them, now the thing that way it will help reduce your sentencing. Now the key that, and now why that way, all of them they go must enter plea bargain. Now why that way, all of them they go plead guilty as soon as they get the opportunity. They go plead guilty. I need to beg no man. I did tell them. Now give me 1 second. Make I charge my phone. The battery don't low at 15%. So I don't just give them some juice. So my contributor Nafi talk say the defendant must understand that the court will determine a sentencing guidelines range for this case. Henceforth, the advisory guidelines range pursuant to sentencing reform, blah 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 blah, and also that the defendant a further must understand say the court it will impose a sentence from the Sentencing Reform Act, blah, 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 as exercised and must take into account the advisory guidelines range in establishing a reasonable sentence. So it could try to get a reasonable sentence. For example, if you get conspiracy for thief, bonbon for shop, it no go one for sentence you to even jail time because, I mean, na bonbon. But if you be plan now for kill the president or for do something will be dangerous, where if it starts civil war, now that time that they start looking at 10 to 20 years imprisonment. So when I feel understand now why that way the sentencing guidelines it be from 0 to 20 because it depends on the severity of the crime. It depends on what way you do, where they could then sit and think say no, this person is dangerous to the society. It needs to be locked up for a very long time. So now what that way the judge it could consider them. So also factual and advisory guidelines stipulation. So this office where they talk now the United States Attorney and the defendant stipulate and agree to the statement of facts set forth in the attachment A, which is incorporated, blah blah blah. They attached all those documents them, and I go show now. So they said this office, blah 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 blah. So now for here now, the office is said does not oppose a 2-level reduction in the defendant's adjusted offense level. So now the deal this, now the real deal this for this paragraph where the talk say. So now because the district attorney, the United States government, if it fight for ask the judge make a sentence for a very long time, okay? But in this particular case, the district attorney it tell the defendant when Roger Akem say, if you plead guilty, will not oppose a 2-level reduction for your sentence. What it means if the judge sentence you too lightly, or will go instead actually ask the judge make it go easy on you, even though the decision for your sentencing now the judge it will determine them, but now we go advise the judge on how for sentence you, and we will ask him make it reduce your sentence. So that's basically what they're saying here in a lot of words. For person where be interested, I don't already upload this information a day online for any person where want to take a look at, a very close look at it, you want to read every single word, fill your boots. So that's the agreement and that's the information. So obligations of the parties. So now what is this way you could be obligated for do as the defendant. Okay, so at the time of sentencing, this office and the defendant reserve the right to advocate for a reasonable sentence, a period of supervised release, or a fine, considering any appropriate factors. Blah blah blah. So this office also and the defendant reserve the right to bring to the court's attention all information with respect to the defendant's background, his character and conduct that this office or the defendant deem relevant to sentencing. Well, it means that the next stage for this thing now waiting at sentencing, because no court case, no good day. It don't already plead guilty. So all what they go do now, so they go then bring a background and a character witnesses and then conduct and then go stand in front of the judge until he say no, see this guy na good guy, na first offense, blah blah blah, give some mitigating circumstances, and then the sentencing. And maybe when I understand say your sentencing it will happen after August the 6th. Now the agreement that way they get them. So maybe when I not expect say the sentencing will be anytime soon, it will be at the very earliest in 30 or 29 days time. So the only thing with the talk now say the sentencing it will take place in basically it will happen after August the 6th. So now the next earliest date. That way they go take you go court and they go sentence you, and we'll get our reliable barrister and Salai on standby. As soon as that development it happen, he go notify una countryman, and we can do another live broadcast, and we'll show una, we'll tell una exactly what way it go on. My country people will tell una say now what this don't happen, they don't sentence you to X number of years. Most likely it go get a shorter sentence because it don't plead guilty early enough. It don't also waive your right for appeal. As the talk of the defendant knowingly waives all rights pursuant to blah 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 for appeal. He also, the defendant and this office knowingly expressly waive all rights blah blah blah. So you waive certain rights, and when you, as we don't really talk, when you plead guilty. So the defendant reserves the right to appeal any sentence that exceeds the maximum. Now the only right that way you get them. If, for example, like right now, the maximum way the face for count 1 are 5 years, maximum way the face for count 2 are 20 years, in total 25 years. So if they sentence it to more than 25 years, it get the right to appeal, because they don't sentence it to more than the statutory maximum. And also, this office reserves the right to appeal if they sentence it to less than the statutory minimum. So if they decide for just sentence it to less than the statutory minimum allowed, then the court it go jump back in and say no, we not there for that thing. We go appeal them. So now with that, the defendant also waives all rights under the Freedom of Information Act relating to the investigation and prosecution of the above captioned matter, and agrees not to file any request for documents from this office or any investigating agency. And the investigating agency now, the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms and Ammunition. So now the tell you say it no get no right to freedom of information. Say for example, after the criminal case it don't be concluded, it don't serve a term, enough evidentiation will file any request, send out for them, say, may they give you all information about the investigation, what they be carrying about you. No, it don't waive that right. But if they go to trial, it get that right for ask that information. It get right for ask for the discovery phase. It get right for ask me to give you information about the case, so that I go prepare your defense. Because in the United States, they bring a case against you. The charge you say you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, and in the United States, it get the burden of proof. For proof, say you don't do those things, then you don't get no burden of proof. All we need for do now for defending himself, you need for then ask them, say, okay, you talk say I will do this on this day at this time. What's your evidence there? Then in the United States, you get for provide the evidence. So in order for you for prepare your defense, you need all the investigation where they be doing against you or about you. But if you plead guilty, where it means that this case no even go for court, then you no even get right for even ask for that information about your investigation. One of the reasons now, because the investigation techniques and the investigation itself, it don't gather other names and potential co-conspirators the way they need for indict them as well in the near future. And if you request other information, if it inform the co-conspirators them in advance, so now they go clear their tracks, or if they plan something, they go stop for the doing. And now one of the reasons that way, even for this document, maybe I don't pass that part already. For this particular document, they tell you, the defendant's conduct prior to sentencing and breach. So na agreement, I think that na the section this. So this thing where the send for you na an agreement, na contract, and he don't sign the contract, and the contract, na the terms and conditions still with the reader. And if he breach the contract, so so they say na he conduct before the sentencing and breach. So wait away if you do for breach this contract, for cancel the contract. Wait, if you do any of these things with the list for here, it means they don't cancel the contract. But if you do all those things then after the sentencing, that's fine. So this one it only matter before the sentencing. Wait, you no need for do. They say between now and the date of the sentencing, the defendant will not engage in conduct that constitutes obstruction of justice under this law. The defendant will not violate any federal, state, or local law. So while you don't really plead guilty now, and you still wait me the sentence you no fit obstruct justice. Where it means that you must be truthful, you must tell them, you must answer any question where they ask you, you must answer them. It means that you no fit break any other state, local, or federal law, federal, state, or local law. where it means, and when they talk about federal, state, or local law, they mean anything from even speeding ticket, where you drive your motor above the speeding limit. That is you break the local law and the state and federal law. So it means that you know if you drive above speed limit, you know if you do anything with a crime, even jaywalking for America, they don't shoot people and kill them for jaywalking. Jaywalking just means you cross road for Wusa way, they don't designate them as a legal crossing. Now jaywalking that, you walk for Wusa way, you're not supposed to walk. Okay, you're supposed to no break federal, state, or local law, and you must also acknowledge guilt to the probation officer and the court. And you will be truthful in any statement to the court, to this office, and to law enforcement agents and your probation officers. And you will cooperate where you go cooperate in the preparation of the present what is this? Present tense report. I don't know what present is. Now the first time that I ever hear this word. Present tense report. And you will not move to withdraw from the agreement, from this plea of guilt. Okay, so you know fit withdraw from the plea agreement before sentencing. You know fit withdraw, and you know fit break any more laws, whether not local, state, or federal laws. And you must be truthful to any agent who contact you, whether not the State Department or not any United States federal officer or your probation officer. You must tell the truth. If they find out, say you talk one statement where it been a lie, and if you prove I'm saying a lie, even if they ask you, say, what did you eat today? You forget, you say you be chopping at McDonald's, and you go talk, say you be chopping at Equang. That, and they know, say you deliberate, because lie means saying that a deliberate thing where you talk and way it not be truthful. That is a lie. But if you be talk where it not be deliberately mean for mislead people them, and then that's just what they call it's just untruth. It's just not true, but it's not a lie. But if they fit prove saying a lie, and I go tell you how we go prove saying a lie, they fit know say the lie by how much you try for hide the fact, say you don't tell a lie. Okay, and for these documents them. So if the defendant engages in conduct prior to sentencing that violates the above paragraph of this agreement, and the court finds a violation by a preponderance of the evidence, then 1, this office will be free from these obligations under this agreement, and this office may make sentencing arguments and recommendations different from those set out in this agreement. So now which the talk say sentencing arguments and recommendations. So when you be found guilty, the Department of Justice, the United States as a government, it will make sentencing arguments and it will make recommendations to the judge. And the judge will listen to those sentencing arguments and the recommendations and before it decide for sentencing, because it get a wide latitude. Because, for example, for those 2 counts, it gets from 0 to 20 years imprisonment. That is a lot of room to play. And it get from 0 to $1 million US for fine you. So that is a lot of room to play. So depending on the arguments where the Department of Justice, again, the State Attorney General, the arguments where they put them forward, and the recommendations where they recommend, say me they sentence you, the judge it will listen to, and it will make you sentencing guidelines. It will look at the sentencing guidelines based on the arguments and the recommendations. Absolutely. So now whether if you plead guilty, the Attorney General, it will tell you, say, okay, if you plead guilty, I will advise the judge for reduce your sentence, for no look at the maximum, but for look at maybe 1 to 5 years in prison. But if you not plead guilty and we get the burden of proof, we'll go for court, we'll do all this hard work, and then we'll assemble a jury, and then we'll go to court, we'll do a trial where it will cost money, time, effort, and everything. And then at the end of all of that, we still find you guilty. Guess what? I will tell the judge, say, you not be remorseful. I will tell the judge, say, you know very well the evidence will get time. You know, say you commit a crime. You willfully decide for waste our time, waste our resources, waste the United States taxpayer their money for go through this jury trial. So I would recommend from 10 to 20 years in prison. And because of that arguments where the United States government again, the judge will consider around that even if they recommend say 10 to 20 years, the judge will look at maybe about 6 or 7. give you 6 to 7. But in this kind of situation, if the United States as a government can't tell when I say no, this man, the truth now say he don't commit crime, okay? He don't, and at the earliest opportunity, he realized his mistakes. Time will catch he put his hands in the air, he accept liability, he realized his mistake, he plead guilty, and he saved the United States government close to $300,000 in processing fees and court cases and court sessions and the indictment and the jury trial. It saved the United States government that amount of money because he plead guilty early and he not get a trial. So because of all that collaboration and cooperation, we see and say this guy he actually be remorseful for the crime we do him, and we see and say it not gonna be a threat to people them because it just want to live a normal life. It just want a life back. It not go back into criminal activity. We don't also see and say it never ever commit crime before. So we go advise the court say instead of give you prison sentence, we will give you like 2 years release, supervised release. Una see am no. So now wait that way the United States as a government, if it do now why that way people did enter plea agreement so that instead for the government for throw the book at you, the fee instead even argue on your behalf. Say no, this guy don't help with for catch the other one them. So as a result of that, instead for put you for prison, if you put you for prison, we'll put you for then begin feeding for 1-2 years, put close for your back, give you chop for chop, water, all thing, pay plus heating, electricity bill, all thing. But if we leave it for outside, even if it is sweeping a road, it be useful for we. So the one for putting only criminal for prison where he get a risk to human life or a person where he never learn a lesson. The whole point that for go for prison. Nobody not for punish you, not for reform you, for make sure so you learn from your lesson. And for people the way they be dangerous to society, will move them out of the society so that they don't pose a risk to ordinary civilians the way they just want to go about their normal everyday life. So if the United States as a government, if you see and say, this guy, he don't fall, yes, and he don't accept guilt, and he don't work with we for correct mistakes, and then okay, we'll go argue a small, maybe we'll argue the judge, say, make it look at maybe 1 or 2 years. If it bad now, how? 2 years, okay? Failing that, if the judge gives supervised release for 2 or 3 years, it could be okay with we. If the United States as a government go talk to the judge, it will consider them. The judge, it could definitely consider them. So in this case, now what did they talk for? They say, if you go broke this agreement, it means they will not in fact, as a matter of fact, if you break this agreement, we'll go instead go for court, go argue for the maximum time where they ever give you. so now the whole point that for this thing. So as I don't talk, any person if you go read this document. So now they talk to the court is not a party for this case. The court it be neutral and it be independent. Okay, the court it know the work for the United States government, it know the work for the client. The court it role for the now for waiting now for interpret the law as it is written and then for implement them as it's written. The court is not there for see whether what. So now they talk first, the court is not a party to this agreement. The court no care whether I get agreement or not get agreement. All we court once and say, okay, you don't plead guilty, fine. Were your rights given to you? Yes. Did you have a lawyer? Yes. Are you sure your lawyer went through this with you before you pleaded guilty? Yes. That's good. I accept the guilty plea. Now, all that way the court be interested in. The court no care whether all way the court care now are your rights, were they protected, and when you be make this plea agreement, were you in the right state of mind? Okay, because when I know if you take a mad person, make it go represent himself, make it sign any document. If you not be mentally stable or whatever, now different case. Okay, my conspiration are those kind of things the way the court it could consider them. And then the entire agreement, this letter together with the sealed document constitutes the blah 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 blah. The tell one now the documents in this way, the section way if you get to sign them, and I don't really show una. So now at the end it say yours truly, Robert blah blah blah, United States Attorney. Is sign them, okay, sign them. Assistant United States Attorney. So the guy when the United States Attorney, he named Robert whatever, he been a United States Attorney. But the guy where he actually signed him, he named Raflin Gavin, when Raflin Gavin and James Warner, when the Assistant United States Attorney and they actually signed the document, then the sender, and then now wait this way, Roger Akem. I don't really show on this part. Now I name that, in a signature that, now the date that we sign them. Now wait this way, he signed for talk say, I have read this agreement, including the sealed supplement, and carefully reviewed every part of it with my attorney. I understand it and I voluntarily agree to it. Specifically, I have reviewed the factual and advisory guidelines stipulated with my attorney, and I do not wish to change any part of it. I am completely satisfied with the representation of my attorney. Now, another thing that will be very important is that he be satisfied with the representation of the attorney. We mean he be happy with the legal workway your lawyer it provided, because if you not be happy, it means maybe the lawyer not do a good job for explaining the consequence and the repercussions of you signing this document. You get right for change your lawyer. If you change your lawyer, especially if now you pay, now we business, if you change them, and then once you change them, now why do this document, it talks say, if you not sign them by this date, it means say, will not get agreement. So you get a deadline. If you want to change your lawyer, by all means, go change your lawyer, and then they could resend the offer to your new lawyer, but you get to notify the court, you get to notify the district attorney, or now what's it called, the United States attorney. You get to notify them saying that my lawyer don't change, and they could draft another document. All what they need for doing have a stamp, different money name for day, and your address, need to send a fee. Now all that. So Roger signed them, and then now your lawyer, this Robert Olensky, Esquire, he signed them a few days later, on the 3rd of April 2020. Your lawyer, he signed them, talk say, I am the defendant's attorney. I have carefully reviewed every part of this agreement, including the sealed supplement with the defendant. The defendant advises me that the defendant understands and accepts its terms. To my knowledge, the defendant's decisions to enter into this agreement is an informed and voluntary one. Means that he understands what they do, and he be informed of the consequences of what they sign them. And guess what? Roger can pick a pen, he sign. Guilty. When I say I'm no, he sign up. So he be guilty. Okay. So now they attach the documents then. So now they talk say beginning of this and that and this and that. So what he be do? It's conspired with Tamufor Saint Michael. Nobody tell you now. So now they give you the statement of facts. Say now wait this way, and they talk and they say. They say the undersigned parties stipulate and agree that if this case had proceeded to trial, the government would have proven the following facts beyond a reasonable doubt. The undersigned parties also stipulate and agree that the following facts do not encompass all of the evidence that would have been presented had this matter proceeded to trial. So now what is what they sign up for talk say? Now just some of the evidence this way they agree to. So he agrees with the beginning in or before November 2017 and continuing all the way to July 19, 2019. Remember that date? Now the date that would indict Tamufor St. Michael. Now I name that. When I see him now. Now they date that. Now they name that Tamufor St. Michael. I hope they be large enough, bold enough on the screen for now for read them. So what did they talk? He say Roger Akem, he conspire with Tamufor St. Michael and others. Now the important part that Tamufor St. Michael and others to export and did export. So he conspire for export and he actually export, because conspiracy is not crime. Actually doing it now different crime. Even if you do the thing one time you succeed, means that 2 crimes you commit. It means say you commit the crime of planning for commit a crime. That one a crime. And then when you actually finally commit the crime, now a different now what they charge you with 2 crimes. The conspiracy part of it is a crime. It carry 5 years prison sentence, and then actually committing the crime now 20 years prison sentence. Now why that way they go? It is stand a chance of serving 25 years in prison. I hope that it makes sense. If I need to make sense, when I tell me my contribute for them, not tell me my doing what. Nice cold glass of water, very, very nourishing. So they say, wait, he said he conspired to export and did export ammunition, firearms, and various other items from the United States in violation of that law, smuggling. And also this other law, the Arms Exportation Control Act, okay? So all these laws them are laws, and that way they break them for America. One man break them. Okay, he also engaged in the business of importing, manufacturing, and dealing in firearms without a license, and in the course of such business, ship, transport, and receive firearms in interstate and foreign commerce in violation of another law. So if you transport weapons and ammunition between states, there is a specific law where it governs how you're supposed to do it. You don't understand that one. There is a specific law where it governs how you're supposed to do them. You must register this, you must get licensed here, you must do this, and if you don't do all those ones, then not crime. Okay? So I hope that one will be clear. So I might just go for the parts that will be juicy. At all times relevant here too, Arkham was a resident of Minnesota. Remember I tell you, a resident of Minnesota between March 2018 and July 2019. Arkham and his co-conspirators, including Tamufo St. Michael. How I think they catch Arkham Roger? Now Tamufo St. Michael Sally, because Tamufo St. Michael enter his own plea bargain as well. He enter plea deal. He say, no, I'm guilty. When I catch me red-handed, so guess what? I'll tell when anything when I want them. They say, okay, start talking. He talk, and with the first names we call him Nahu, Roger Arkham, because now the people now co-conspirators and that. They tell us about Roger Arkham. He sing. They say he sing up like Cameroon national anthem. He sing the whole thing. Tell them all thing where they need them. He said with Tamufo St. Michael, they purchase both over the internet and in person large amounts of ammunition, reloading supplies, blah 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 blah, firearms, multiple items, for the purpose of shipping them overseas. Once purchased, the items were sent to St. Michael's address, a residence in Golden Ring Road in Rosedale, Maryland. The purchased items included, they even go on for name one of the items where they purchased them. 9 separate shipments of ammunition, tools, equipment, blah, blah, blah. Approximately 134 orders placed through St. Michael's account at gunbroker.com. I think we don't already talk this one before for the indictment of St. Michael, Tamufo. On April the 8th, 2018, item titled tie or tripwire noise alarm, blah, blah, blah. A producer, Avon, blah, blah, blah. They give you all the list of all the things and way they order them. Okay. 450 boxes of 0.233 caliber ammunition, 9,000 rounds in total, were sent by Sports South LLC on April the 3rd, 2019, and 400 pieces of 50 BMG cases, blah, 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 blah. Now, all these things, evidence, and then they say Arkham managed and oversaw the collection. So now you part this replay. He managed and oversaw the collection and expenditure of funds. Una see palava money. So collecting money and expending the money for these various purchases through a bank account that he maintained in Wells Fargo Bank. Okay, and for this broadcast, I don't show una the list of banks, bank account numbers, and all those things and where they will be involved in all these shady deals and criminal activities. Okay, they say in or about December 2018. Okay, if any black leg there for here where it is still respond to the amber fool, I go block plus you for this page. No black leg not there for here. We're supposed to waste time with amber shit, no white blast. You're supposed to pay attention to the broadcast. You're supposed for the share. If you never share, you're supposed to like. If you bad in a house, send hearts and likes and whatnot. If you day here, you be black leg and you do waste time, they respond to amber shit no white blast. It means say you be shit no white blast yourself, and I go ban plus you from this page. We do not dialogue. We do not negotiate. We do not play tabala with shit no white blast. I don't know how many times I go tell you now. All we need for respond and say, continue and block this fool. End of discussion. And then you live your life. You pay attention to what we talk about. You pay attention to the black legism. You will not be distracted by a shit no white blast where you know first of all know what they do. Now emotional idiots, then way all way they know, all way they get. Now emotions, they know get anything else. They don't get any critical thinking. They don't get nothing to contribute. So we need to dialogue with them. We need to negotiate with them. We need to play tabala with them. We compromise the fools them. We blast and crush them, and we move on. Do you understand me? If you understand me, type I'm of a comment section. Say, I understand you, Igwe. Type I'm of a comment section. You do not play tabala. You do not dialogue. You do not negotiate. You do not even talk to Ambashid no Weblas. You wipe the fool and you move on. Do you understand me? I want to see when I respond to the comment section. Say, I understand you, Igwe. And that is it. So when I stop that madness, whether now for your own personal account where you create them, if any Ambashid no Weblas, they can't post anything for day, you delete them. End of discussion. You block the fool. We need to talk to them. We'll just educate them. Okay? Wait to be elephant in business with ant. Wait to be my business with ant. If the mind in business to go, if it deaf my path, I step on top of your path, you can go me. That is it. So we'll be black legs. We'll be educated. Now we will go school. Now we will know which way to go on. We'll know the debate. We'll know the play tabala. We'll know the discourse. We'll know the dialogue. We'll know the negotiate. With any shit, no blast. If you see him, you wipe him. If you leave any stupid comment for your account, you delete him. You block the fool, if needs be. We don't lack friends. We don't need friends. We'll be enough. The 130 something people already watch me right here, right now, are more than enough. Now all that way we need them to destroy Amazonia. Now all that way we need them. Imagine we 100 will assemble for Facebook. Just for example, how we would delete that GoFundMe for what's the name? Mangang. Just we 100 will assemble. We'll be united. We'll not be divided like Amber. We'll do whatever we want to do. Anything we want to do for Facebook. Imagine say we talk, say this one a fake account, make all we will go report them. If we 100 within 1 hour, we'll go report the same account. Things Facebook no will bring them down. It will bring them down. We'll not be Amber. We'll not get nothing for dialogue or negotiate with them. We'll not stay here for defend Cameroon government. No, you know be CPDM, and if you be CPDM, that one is your business. We'll not be SDF. We'll not be politicians. We'll be Cameroonian. We're here for Cameroonians for destroy Ambazonia terrorism. So everything where you do, you get to ask yourself, say, is this thing going to destroy Ambazonia terrorism? If the answer is yes, then do it times 10. If the answer is no, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, then think twice. Ask yourself the same question again. Okay? So type in the comment section, say, you understand. Do you understand me? It's a direct order where I give you. You do not play tabala with shit, no white blast. I don't care which way they talk about. I don't really tell when I say when I ignore them. Now me, I know how to deal with them. Besides, if you leave any comment, I say you respond to Amber shit, no white blast for this platform. When me, I block it, I delete you post and you comment them. I only need for ban new ones. Everything wherever I post on this page disappear with them. And every comment where you be waste your time to send them for under your comments, it delete with them. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Now how many times me I will teach you the same thing, Master? I don't see plenty of una, even for una own page, for una own accounts them. I see una they busy they respond to Amber shit no white blast. They can't leave some comment under una page. Una there for they try for talk to them back. They try for put sense for their head. You are wasting your time. Go find picture of Amber shit no white blast with the Bronco wines. I don't tell una Ayeke, Fonte Lucas, Spirito. There plenty. Ivomba. Just take their picture. Not take their body one because you know what I mean. Facebook sanction you. Just take the picture. Can't dump them for the past gringo. You talk say where them they. Did they not drop their guns? Pass gringo, and that's how you respond to them. Now, emotional creatures, the way they don't get sense. So, not try to educate them. They only know now for react to emotions. So, give them the emotional response. They already be angry. So, they already be on the edge. All your job now for push them over the edge. Make them crazy all. So, go find something where it will turn their belly even the more. Can't give them pass gringo you. Now, why that when I there for plenty WhatsApp groups and I didn't see me for day? And even when I see contribute for any WhatsApp group, wait my job for day. Now for antagonize them. I know they ever there for no WhatsApp group. First of all, they know being my equals. What I Sako to Ayabacho to Tapang to Cisco to Ayub, they know be my equals. When I don't hear no, when I stop that nonsense, say you shouldn't respond to Amber shit no white blast. As if when I don't get a mentor way, it don't teach when I educate when I enough how to deal with this shit no white blast them. Then when I still work and make mistake. Okay. We match fire for going for before. So, as they talk, okay, when I see this one, they say, on or about the 17th of January. Ma zoom am info na me una say am very well. So they talk specific dates on or about the 17th of January 2019. Container number this and that. When I say they write the number for the container, departed the port of Baltimore in Maryland with a destination of Onne in Nigeria. When I say how una think that they know about all this detail, the container number and the destination and the date where it depart. Okay, una listen now. They say the electronic export information, the EEI, electronic export information for the container, which was filed with the Department of Commerce as required by this particular law, it listed the contents of the container as one Toyota Tundra truck, one 1989 Toyota blah blah blah, as an individual. Oh no. Sorry, now because I zoom in and out. So the Tundra truck and one other Toyota 1989 Toyota truck, and also doors and frames. So wait the way they report them for the EEI, for the card, the information where they report them for the US government, say a day inside a container. They say it get Toyota Tundra truck and a 1989 Toyota truck as well. And they also get doors and frames inside a container. So now the EEI further lists that the U.S. principal party in interest, which is the USPPI, as an individual with the initial MAO. So because whenever you ship a container, you must fill in the EEI when the electronic export information for tell them the information where they for that container where they export them. But you must also give them the USPPI when the principal party in interest, when the person when he own the container where they export them. So when they ask them for fill in the person where they export them, they enter these initials MAO. They don't even write the person's name, they just enter initials MAO with a non-existent address of 670 Golden Ring Road, Rosedale. So when I see now this kind of things the way it make them, they know say na conspiracy, and they know say you be willfully do them, and they know say no be mistake. Okay, so they ask them, say now who they ship this container? They write MAO. Now say MAO. They don't write the person's name. They say okay, now where to be the address for the person where they ship this container? They give address where no exist. They said door number 670 Golden Ring Road, Maryland, area code MAO. That was listed on the intermediate and the ultimate consignee for the container shipment with an address in Nigeria. Okay, so now the telephone number listed for the MAO on the EEI corresponded with a prepaid and therefore non-traceable cellular telephone. So they go to the extent of buying, which they call them prepaid, now pay as you go SIM card, because for USA and the UK, if you just buy a SIM card off the counter for use them as pay as you go, it means you top them up for $10, and then when you make a phone call, if the $10 finish, if you move the SIM card through them, where it means they don't know if you trace them to you. But if you get a contract with a company like, I don't know, and the cellular company provider, I know the ones for UK, Vodafone, EE, and the rest, but America, I think they get I don't forget me with Verizon, now one of them for America, and a few other ones, I think Leica Mobile and some other one. So they get Verizon, they get T-Mobile, I think they get as well for America. So if you get a contract with the companies where they provide you cellular network, then it will be traceable. The United States departments and agencies, them, if you just go and say, okay, this number enter into the system, and give them the information about who he registered that number. So what way these Einsteins they do, these geniuses, these hardened criminals, and the things that they run as some some mafia cartel, what they do, they fake the name for the person, fake the address, and then they use a prepaid telephone number where it not be traceable as the telephone number for the person where it is shipped the container. So on or about the 25th of February 2019. So they shipped the container when? January the 17th. Okay. Now, 25th of February 2019, the shipping line was ordered to re-deliver the container number back to the port of Baltimore. I hope so when I understand that one. What it means, wait, the agents them, they monitor the container, they monitor them as they ship the container, as they load the container, as they do everything, and then the container is they ship them on the 17th of January. It go. So now Tamofos and Michael and Roger Akem, the things it is, so the thing don't go. But then about a month later or a few days later or whatever, the shipping line it be ordered by the United States government for re-deliver that particular container back to the port of Baltimore. And the order of re-delivery also required that the contents of the container were to remain intact and sealed when discharged in the port of Baltimore. So now the ATF agents and the FBI agents and all the other agents, the way they work on this case, they issue a subpoena to this shipping line, to this shipping company, say, when I return this particular container with the container number back to the port of Baltimore, and make sure say the container be sealed and the contents make no errata, no touch them, because they need to do a search. So now on May the 20th, 2019, following its return to Baltimore, law enforcement personnel unsealed the container and examined its contents. In addition to what appeared to be the contents of an old schoolhouse desks, chairs, doors and frames, household goods and clothing, and industrial goods, the Toyota vehicles listed on the EEI were in the container. The cab area of the 1989 truck contained a certificate of title for a motor vehicle which indicated that co-conspirator number 2 had transferred title to the vehicle to Akem in December 27, 2018. Okay. When I know who co-conspirator number 2 be, if you know who co-conspirator number 2 be, write them in the comment section. Co-conspirator number 2, when I write them in the comment section, I conspire them. Co-conspirator number 2, when I know who he be, yes, because co-conspirator number 2, guess what? Na mangang. Yes, na mangang, it be co-conspirator number 2, because by this time now, they write Tuma Force and Michael in name. So they need to call it a co-conspirator anymore. They write Tamofos and Michael and this document about Roger Akem. Now, co-conspirator number 2, if you read Mangang own indictment, they talk and they say Mangang it be discussed about transferring the title, because that truck where they talk about na Mangang a truck. Na Mangang a truck. So Mangang talks that we fit hide the guns them inside this truck and then we ship them inside to Nigeria. But I know one man name. I know one man name make it appear for that document. So this guy Roger Akem, in his infinite stupidity, he talks no, okay, may they transfer the ownership for the truck into your name, so that now when they send the container, they go send them say na Roger he truck. So Mangang and nobody want make anything it trace back to ye. He thinks he be smart. So now why did they call it co-conspirator number 2? So that way they unseal the container, they see and say the title for that motor, which indicates say the co-conspirator number 2 Mangang, it be transferred the title, the ownership to Akem in on December 27, 2018, just after Christmas Day. And then hidden in the back of the 1989 truck were 4 black duffel bags. So inside the truck now, they find 4 black duffel bags. The duffel bags, they will contain 1 high-capacity magazine, Belleville brand, military style and desert colored boots, and Camelback brand hydration packs. Hydration packs, Camelback, now like Baba bag where you wear and where you put water inside, then you drink them for like people where they go hiking and they go running in the forest or in mountains and in like you do physical activity for long distance and long periods of time where you need to rehydrate yourself every so often. So you just Baba the Camelback. And then you get a straw, a tube where it go to the back. So we just take the straw, you put them for your mob, you sock them, and then you continue to run. Like for marathon runners and long distance runners, they use Camelback hydration packs. So attached to each duffel bag was an airline issue baggage tag containing the name of Akem. You people the door. I tell when I say Amber should know why blast the door. Okay, make her explain what really happened for now. So what will they explain for you now? So wait. Time where man gang me talk say this, I get some old Toyota where we fish ship them to Nigeria, but now my name it be registered under my name, and I don't want me my name appear for this thing in case they catch him. So Akem, this Roger Akem talks say, okay, may they transfer the vehicle for your name. So on the 27th of December, they transfer the vehicle to Roger Akem in name, and then they put the motor inside the container. By February time, they ship them. Okay. Now inside time with the on a January time, and then by December time, so they transfer the motor on December time. By January time, they load the container. February time, the United States authorities they return the container back. They unseal the container and they look inside. When they look inside with it, they see duffel bags inside the motor. When they open the duffel bag, they see all these military magazines, military equipment and whatnot. But also, wait till they see them say, the duffel bag, it will get an airline issued baggage tag. I know say plenty of people, the way they watch me, they never ever fly. But some of we would fly all the time on airlines. Now, whenever you check into an airport on airlines where you want to fly, you hand them your luggage, and for that luggage, they take a tag, okay, where they write your name and important information, your boarding pass, all that detail. Then they tie them to your bag. It go with your bag, so that when you reach at your destination, you go feel claim your bag back. You know, we take different personal property. So now, these duffel bags them, where they put them inside this motor and then load the motor inside this container. These duffel bags, they will get Akem your name and your tag, your airline's tag for that container. Hi, people the dollar. People the door. Okay, so they go through the trouble of buying a SIM card so that means they don't trace their calls. They go through the trouble of registering a fake address for that information where they fill them. They go through the trouble of registering a fake name for the information where they fill them for send the container. But they don't go them through the trouble of removing that tag where be there for that bag, where your name and your address did it. They say they get airlines issued baggage tag containing the name of Akem. Einstein. Now people they say they want to go fight war. They want to go fight Cameroon government, win them for war. Okay, they say also hidden in the rear portion of the 1989 Toyota truck's cargo area were numerous packages wrapped in aluminum foil, duct taped, and then overwrapped with green-colored plastic wrap. The wrapped packages contain, amongst other things, 4 0.223 caliber semi-automatic AR-style rifles, 9 high-capacity .223 caliber magazines. They get approximately 5,000 rounds of 0.223 caliber bullets, 2,000 rounds of Remington shell casings, 4 pounds of mixed 0.22 caliber shell casings, CPP primers. You get 8-pounders AR camp gun and powder and tannerite powder, 40 small canisters of pepper spray. They buy plus 40 canisters of pepper spray. They go fight their war now with pepper spray. I don't know whether they will go fight the war against grizzly bears or whatever. I don't know. But they get 40 canisters of pepper spray, 1 brass knuckle. They get plus brass knuckle. Then they go to fight their war now with brass knuckle. No wonder they will talk say we jam them. Man contribute with them. This people if you make man laugh die. For now, I don't know if some of you know what the brass knuckle be. When I Google them, when I see what the brass knuckle be, or my Google them for brass knuckle. When I Google brass knuckle, it will show now what the brass knuckle be. Now brass knuckle that's what a brass knuckle is. It's just you wear them for your fingers, and you see those four holes now. Now your fingers they go inside out 4 holes. Now you hold them so, and then those brass it becomes like your knuckle. So now when you jam man with them, you jam them so you remove all your teeth. Now wait till this way they buy them. Amber they go fight war with brass knuckle. Now the latest weapon that's a cool come every for them. For go fight war with them. They say they get what's that the brass knuckle there? Now in this, wait. What's that the brass knuckles? Now in this, it get one brass knuckle, 2 rifle scopes, and a ghillie suit. Basically, ghillie suit now, what you wear snipers, they wear them, where be camouflage. If you wear them, stand for some bush, and person can walk on top, you know, first even know, say person be there for it. So they buy plus one of those, just one, for go fight war. And then they just be picking random things where they pick up from Walmart, anything with, and then don't forget, say they may first even get the budget. Anything where we fit they like, say if you fit their budget, they just carry and put them for they too. So they send them go fight war. So okay, then they said the ghillie suit package which shipped with the shipping label still affixed. Oh my God, Einstein. People they dollar, they go through the process of trying to hide which way they do, but the ghillie suit where they buy them, where now the sniper suit, it will still get the package, the shipping label, it will still be affixed. Wait, means say wait, the shipping label be addressed to Tamufo St. Michael at the address Golden Ring Road. Akurabunga, Akurotu, human beings the doll. It means say he ordered this ghillie suit, this sniper gear, when a military equipment where you're not supposed for export or import them without permission or written authorization from the United States government. He order them, they send them for you to your address with your name, okay? Then if they can put them inside the container for shipment for Nigeria, the container where they go through the hassle for first transfer the ownership from that motor to Roger Akemi name, and then they go through the hassle of buying mobile phone SIM card where they no go trace them. They go through the difficulty for go fill information will be wrong when a crime. Say, okay, na MAO, he own this container, your telephone number na this, you know if you trace them, your address na this, you know exist. But guess what? Now my name that I don't put my name and my address for the label, for the items the way they inside the container. Why? Jesus. In name and the address, a day for day, and then okay. Now, a second cardboard box found in the 1989 Toyota truck bore an Amazon shipping label. Well, they fight their war from Amazon and eBay. The Amazon shipping label that was addressed to St. Michael at the same address, Golden Ring Road residence. Contained in the box were a variety of items, including pepper spray. Hi. Cameroon military, I don't know, it did like say Cameroon military overhead pepper spray because the way they will buy pepper spray, plastic zip tie for use and for handcuffs, and another brass knuckle and other military type equipment or items. So now, other items found in the container included a RCBS die set, gas masks, tripwire, ammunition reloading tools and equipment, 20 pounds of sulfur powder, practice grenade or grenade fuses, tannerite powder, gunpowder, pepper spray, more pepper spray, a full assembly inert improvised explosive devices, which were inert. Good thing they were inert. Bladed weapons, so they send them plus knives. Bladed weapons, they send them plus knives. Samurai swords, try. They send them plus knives. Body armor and other military type surplus items. So then they said during a second search of the container, which was conducted on August the 1st, 2019, by this time they don't already arrest Tamufo St. Michael. Okay, now remember 19th of July 2019. Now the date that way they arrest, now the date that they indicted 19th of July. So now August the 1st, about 10 or 11, 12 days later, they do another search. By this time, I'm sure by this time, Tamufo St. Michael, if they don't already start work with them, and anyway, he sent them, they go do another search. So for the other search, they discover 35 firearms were found secreted in 6 different sealed compressors. Okay, no. The compressors, they be there inside the gun, inside the container, I guess. So they discovered 35 guns inside the compressors. One of those firearms was a Nironko rifle model SK 7.62mm caliber with an attached tag bearing the same serial number as the rifle purchased by who? Tamufo St. Michael on December the 14th, 2018. The serial number on the rifle itself had been obliterated. Wait, means wait. Okay, so when you buy the gun, the gun itself, it gets a serial number on top with the right arm. I show you an example. Now give me 1 second, because I get a typical example for now. For the ambush, you know why last way they compromise them for Widikum Batibo Road. No, now yesterday they compromised on one them. They compromised one amber boy. Yes, Barretta News if we report them. Now in that, I hope someone will see and find on the screen. So una see no. Now the serial number that for that particular rifle, AK-47 rifle. Now why that way? When they compromise that amber sheet no white blast, this gendarme, it pick up the gun, it hold them close to the camera, and it take this close up because it be one take a close up of the serial number of that AK-47, because if you go back to the manufacturer, if you trace the weapon back to the manufacturer, to the first person where you be buying them, to the second person where you be buying them, to the history of that weapon, if you trace them from that serial number, my contribute them. So every gun it gets serial number, but they need to write the serial number now only for one place. So wait till where this amber sheet no white blast the do and say waiting. So now the C said the serial number they and they know say na Tamufo and Michael it buy that gun, it know say your name it be linked to that serial number. So wait till Tamufo, and he know very well say when that serial number, when that gun arrive for Cameroon, for instance, if they use that gun now for kill some person, they take picture like how they take this one, so and it end up with the FBI, with the American state authorities, and they will ask, wait, Tamufo, that gun where you be buying on this date in December 2018, how come we see the same gun on social media for Facebook? They said they use them for Nigeria for kill people then. You understand? So now why that way I don't try my best to tell the Cameroon state authorities and say every gun, every weapon where they just broadcast the serial number, even at broadcast them. May just put on them for social media, may just put on them like for contribute.com, may just write the serial number for day. One day FBI agent feed by mistake type the same serial number for Google, search them, and you see the serial number where you don't kill some man for Cameroon, for Nigeria, and then they hold the shit number for America responsible. They will ask him, make it bring the gun, or make it bring the legal documents, say if you don't sell the gun, and then they go get them. If you talk, they don't lost the gun, they go ask you for the documents where you be filing, because if you lose your gun or the thief, you must get police report. For say, okay, on this date at this time they become burgle my house, and the items in this way I lose them. Say na the items in this they got weapon, this type of weapon, and now the serial number this for that weapon way they collect them from my house. But if you just go spend money buy them, the serial number be registered to your name, and then 1 or 2 years later they discover say the weapon, the same weapon where you be buying for America, they don't use them for kill some person for Cameroon. Guess what? They go start asking you questions. How that gun do manage reach for Cameroon? You've been at the last person we touch him. When I understand that one, I hope I make a lot of sense. So I go back to our presentation. I know one for sure when I die body picture them. No one Facebook for censor this video. So now when I see the rifle where you buy them, the serial number bill registered to ye, you buy them just 11 days before Christmas 2018. Now, what you do now is he obliterate the serial number. He stamp them out, scratch them for rob the serial number off. But as stupid as the people today, they no say every weapon it get many different places where they write that same serial number. Because they know say some idiot, it go try for obliterate them. So they write them other places than way. Some of the places where they write the serial number for the agents, then only agents they go know. Yes, they write the serial number for many other places than for that weapon. So another firearm recovered from that container on August the 1st was the Noreen rifle bearing the serial number blah 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 U1508 that St. Michael had purchased in April 2018. An additional 25 other firearms, all of which had obliterated serial numbers. So it get another 25 different guns then where it don't obliterate their serial numbers then. Okay, sorry, sir, I don't just receive some email. Now why that way I will look very important email. I will check them out later. Now below. So it's another serial number, say, where they don't obliterate them. 25 other weapons were found during that second search of the container. Those 25 firearms were similar to the makes and models of the firearms that St. Michael had purchased. Many of the items ordered and shipped to St. Michael's residence, identified above, also matched the types of ammunition and other military-type items found in the container. All of the firearms, magazines, ammunition, and primers found in the container were defense articles designated on the United States munitions list, which means you cannot export them without an export control license. You know, if you take those things out of the country without written authorization. So the document, it really talks here. There is a lot of information to digest. Was it this one I was reading? Okay, they say, after law enforcement personnel searched the container and removed the items. And I don't really see this one properly, but I feel read them. I feel just manage to read them. They say, after law enforcement personnel searched the container and removed the items that required an export license in May 2019, they transferred custody of the container to the Customs and Something Protection, the CBP, between June the 4th, 2019 and June the 12th, 2019. So St. Michael now, who did not know that law enforcement had searched the container, contacted the CBP several times seeking information about the container's status. Over the course of these several contacts, St. Michael identified himself by name, provided his cellular telephone number, told the CBP officer that the container had not been exported in his name, indicated that he, Akem, and co-conspirator number 2. So remember, I'll be telling you, I say co-conspirator number 2 is a different person, because for this document, St. Michael named the column. Roger Akem named the column. But why when I think that they talk co-conspirator number 2? Now, because by this time, this document will be sealed. And the number one, me co-conspirator number 2, he know who did they talk about. And the number one, me no person know who did they talk about when they talk about co-conspirator number 2. Because this document will still be sealed. But we know now, say that co-conspirator number 2, where they talk about, na mangang. So now, wait. Okay, now, when I hear the stupidity of these people. So now, that way they take the container now, they transfer the custody to the CBP as a dog. So now St. Michael now, it contact the CBP for find out the status of the container, and then he contact them, he provide his cellular telephone number, and then told the CBP officer that the container had not been shipped in his name. He tell them, say, no, they not be shipped enough my name. And then he tell them, he indicate for them, say, na ye, Tambo for St. Michael, Roger Akem, and co-conspirator number 2, when a mangang, and 2 other individuals had put the shipment together for export, and that they all had cargo in the container. They all had cargo in the container. So when I say now already 5 people in that, the dominoes don't start 4. Now 5 people in that. So you get Yi, when a Tamofos and Michael. You get Akem, Roger. You get co-conspirator number 2, when a Mangang, and 2 others. Who will be the other 2 others? Now we're talking about 5. Now I don't give the names of 4 people the way they don't indict them. Now we're talking about 5. And even this part here, when I say that 13 in total, they don't indict them, and they don't really plead guilty, and they don't really enter plea bargains. And now why do I advise the IG to stay away from this case? Okay, Matt continue. So St. Michael eventually told the CBP officer that MAO was listed on the doc receipt, and that MAO had helped St. Michael load the container. Finally, St. Michael sent an email to the CBP officer on June the 12th, 2019. By this time, he did panic. He don't know what did happen for that container. He don't know your whereabouts. He don't know what they search him. He don't know what to go on. Serious panification. When I feel understand that level of panic, no, where it is fierce, the ATF or the FBI or someone is looking through the container. Now the worst nightmare that for you. And this guy, maybe they work for a joint base, Air Force Base Andrews or something like that for United States or DMV area, they with presidential jet Air Force One, it be based. Because even a reservist with I think the Air Force and the Army, even a reservist, which means it serve part-time for Army. So, my reading for now, it talks now, say, on that June 12th, 2019, now, don't forget that the arresting on July 19th, about 1 month after this email, they arrested and the indicted, it's in which, for that email, he listed himself and several others, including Akem Roger Mangan, as being involved and or related to container blah blah blah. So now St. Michael don't start singing where no man never even ask you any question. Oh, just the panification. It don't make them St. Michael Tamufo. It don't start sing. It is send email. It talk say no. No be me I do am. No. Other people they put things the inside. No. No be me oh. I don't know me wait to the inside that container. No be me I put them. No be me I load the container. No. I think say Roger Akem get something inside that container. Oh, my man gang too get something inside that container. Oh no, it get list. It's a several orders. Now list, now name them this. When I take them, now name them this of people the way they get things inside that container. No be me one oh. No be me one oh. When they never ask you no question oh. They never indict you. They never arrest you. And then when I think say, after they don't indict you, after they don't present all this evidence for you, and then they arrest you, and then they ask you, you think they no go sing? You think they no go enter plea deal? You think they no go tell them, they no go sing, even they say, sing Makosa, we no know how to sing, I go sing them. They say sing even the Awusa song where you know the words, it go sing them. Like how many they sing Francophone song them for you all the time. Yes. Sing plus for French. It way no know. It go sing plus for French. It sing. Is that it sing for them? Is that it sing for them? I contribute where they never first even ask it, they never first even indict it, they never first even arrest it. Is that see? My read them from again. They say St. Michael sent an email to the CBP officer on June the 12th, 2019. Remember the arresting for July 2019. He sent that email in which he listed himself and several others, including Roger Akem and Manga, as being involved and or related to container blah 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 blah. So now St. Michael also attached to the email copies of the dock receipt and titles of the 2 Toyota trucks found in the container. It don't really give them evidence, so where they never ask them. He give them the title, say, una see, title for the document, say, it be been a man gang on. Na the Roger Akem, he get them na. No be me, oh, my name, na Tamufo St. Michael, and not Demide. And not Demide, oh, una see that container, so even that motor where they put it inside, una see for the name, the right time for the na man gang before on the Toyota, and then they take and put them for Roger Akem, una see, he emailed them plus evidence, plus receipt. I'm no girlfriend. I'm no get secret. I'm no girlfriend. I need to send them to that people already investigate them. Oh, it is send them evidence to people already to investigate. It can send oh, this one American government. The American government they write this document send them for their indictment. Now the sealed document is already send them for Roger before he look all this evidence. So, Master, now in that now Roger that after I see all this information, Roger say, Barrister, do you have a pen that has an ink? He said, what happened to your own? He said, I was biting on it so hard because I am nervous. I just want to sign this document. Too much evidence. They have too much evidence. Too much evidence. We will never get independent. Too much evidence. They have caught me with blood from my hand. They have caught me red-handed. I want to sign. Where can I sign? They say sign here. They say sign here. Roger Akem say, I will sign. I am guilty. Guilty. What more do you need? I will tell you everything. Amber has no friend. No friend, no secret. They have everything. Everything. I will sign. Now in that, he sign them. Now me write them. The counsel, Robert Oleski, he sign them. Roger Akem, sign them. And then you get the Assistant United States Attorney, he sign them, they seal them. Now the plea bargain that, and the plea deal that he don't plead guilty, he go collaborate. But actually, I know things I don't first even read at all because there is maybe some other interesting Okay, see here. Now they say on July the 19th, 2019, at the date that law enforcement agents executed a search warrant at St. Michael's residence, Golden Ring Road residence, the basement of the, at this time, by this time, said they investigate them. It thinks that they still just try for clear the air, for make them, they don't even look into the container. Okay? So now, it won't just say, bam. Because by this time, if you know that they investigate it, if or at least try for get rid of the evidence, we now understand. If at least try, because by this time, 1 month after this thing will happen, by July 2019, for your basement, if you still get, I read them for now, wait, time where they execute a search warrant for your address, where they find them? They say, for your basement of your residence contained machinery and equipment for the manufacture of firearms and reloading of ammunition, as well as numerous rifles and handguns, various firearms parts and accessories, a silencer, rifle scopes, powder, reloading equipment, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. So, despite all of these things, and 1 month after, it still get all of this for your basement, for your house. People the doll, people the doll. He no even try for hide them. He no even. But the question too now for you, where you get to ask yourself now, say, even if you decide now say want hide them, even if you decide now say, okay, they are on to me, I need to get rid of this evidence, I need to do something with these guns and all this powder and all these things we did for my house. The second question where you get to ask yourself now, say, who's I for keep him? Where would you hide it in a place like America? You could go dig hole for some side, bury him for the, and where you really. And maybe when I understand, say, all these things and all the equipment, the way they be there for your house, not even your own. When I think, say, they earn how much for buy 25 guns, this and that powder, 9,000 rounds of ammunition. Now money from contributions, from donations. Now hundreds of people, their money, where it require for be accountable for. Now another dilemma, that another problem that for them. You understand? I hope so I make that point clear. So even if we decide now say, okay, I want to cut my losses, I want to throw away all these things, cut my losses, go away. What if I do with those weapons them? And they don't belong to ye. Now different people, their money where they gather from janging houses and all kind of madness, where they work as show basket, people they put money for they take and go buy guns, can't kill people for Cameroon. It backfire. So they say neither Akem nor any of his co-conspirators even possessed the necessary license or authorization from the United States Department of State or the Department of Commerce to export the above listed firearms, ammunition, or rifle scopes. Akem Roger further knew that licenses were required to export those items to Nigeria. When I hear no, so now the way they talk say now a conspiracy, because you be actually know, say you do the wrong thing, you be know, say you commit a crime. And then you go ahead for commit a crime anyway. Now for them now they take and nail you, saying a conspiracy. Because if you talk say, even though they talk say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. What it means, say, if you know say you do the wrong thing and you do that, so you still face exactly the same penalty. Because for talk say and no be no, it's not good enough. But for this particular case, they be no, because they get communication between Roger Akem, Mangang, Tamofos and Michael, where they discuss about disguising these things. They plan them. Now the conspiracy, that the planning phase of it is the conspiracy part of it. Executing it is also a crime, but the conspiracy, thinking about it, planning about it, is a crime. So they actually know, say they need export license for export those type of goods. They be know. And then they go ahead for try to export them anyways without the license. Now when they talk about this, say, Akem further knew that licenses were required to export those items to Nigeria. You know, and why they go write that statement for them? Because they get the communication, they get evidence, they be know, they discussed about it. So attachment number 2, they go on for talk about the items where they seize them from that particular container for on 20th of May 2019. Surprise, surprise, 20th of May, Independence Day. Now Independence Day now. Yeah. So now on that day where Cameroon will celebrate their independence, they will seize items and from that container. So might just rattle through some of the items and so ammunition or firearms, rifles, firearms, firearms, 2 bottles of World War III, 500 count bags, casings, and boxes of this and that. You get bottles, stump removers, 1 box of unprimed, blah blah blah, smokeless powder for film into the gun cartridge, I think, firearm parts and accessories, firearms. You get reloading kit, 500 bags or whatever, 2-pound jars of this and 1 pound, 40 pepper spray canisters. 40 pepper spray canisters. They like say they are war where they will go fight them now with pepper spray. And 1 brass knuckle, of course. And then the items where they seize them for Tamofos and Michael house on the day where they arrested on the 19th of July 2019. Rifles, handguns, the plenty. Different calibers, different makes, silencers, firearm parts, other parts, rifles. There are plenty. Tools to manufacture black powder. Firearms parts. So someone when I did for the way when I talk say, when I no one create fake Facebook account for can't fight Amber for Facebook. I hope say when I don't take I Chop Christmas, when I see the detail, when I see the extent, when I see the hard work, when I see the planning, when I see where these fools they do in the background in order for can kill Una on the grounds for Cameroon. When I see them, forget about the fundraising, forget about all those things. Them a lot of work, but still there where they put them in the background where when I did see them for Facebook for can kill Una. And then when we ask Una say, Una create just fake Facebook account for can't fight them back on social media. When I give me kind complaints, when I talk, oh countryman, this and that, when I get kind complaints, when I see how much work, see all these things of ammunition, this type ammunition, that type ammunition, different type, 10 of that one, 40 of that one, 5,000 of that one, 6,000 of that, 9,000 of that, 8-pound smokeless powder, ammunition, that type, ammunition, this type, quantity, this, 2,800 rounds of that, ammunition, that, we are still going on, ammunition, all kind of ammunition, firearm parts, ammunition components, firearm, rifle, the plenty. Now then that, chemical this, firearms that, reloading press and blah blah equipment. Hey, just for can't kill Una. Now, items seized from that address when I'm from Minnesota on July the 19th, 2019. Oh, so now as the research Tamofos and Michael house on July the 19th, 2019. They will also search Roger Akemi house on the same date. For obviously it makes sense. Say they could launch the 2 search warrants at the same time for make sure they make Tamofos and Michael notify Roger Akem, make Roger Akem try for hide the evidence. So they will launch the search warrant where they go search Roger Akemi house and Tamofos and Michael house at exactly the same time on the same date. So now, so professional investigators, they do things so that one person no go fit tip off the other one for get rid of the evidence. So as they research Roger Akemi house, they research Tamofos and Michael own. So now for Roger Akemi house from Minnesota, when a totally different state, it just like say some person, Roger Akemi fit live like for Littoral, and then Tamofos and Michael it live for some place like for Adamawa. 2 different states, 2 different agents, because now federal agents they cross borders between states. So wait till they find them for your house. It on list, it not be long, but they find only these 2 items: ammunition assorted, about 8 different manufacturers, different ammunition, and then you get 51 assorted caliber, which is not much, but it's still something. So now they say items seized from that container where they search them for August. Hey, now then this, I don't get time to read them. Rifles this, rifle that, rifle this, blah, 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 blah. Now then that. Any person want to examine this document, by all means, so I did. They just the amount of money where they throw them, where Amber lost them from this container alone, from this particular seizure, where they seize these items from them. If he easily pass 100 million francs, the items and equipment where they seize them from them. If he pass, imagine 100 million francs are plenty money for Amber. If he easily pass 100 million francs, looking at the number of guns, because might just do some small mathematics, make a digress more. And also this live broadcast has probably been one of the longest way Countryman ever do, but gonna bear with me now. Sweetie news. So they seized about 50 different guns from them, and know say one gun man just talks in 1 million, but just for make mathematics easy. Now already 50 million francs that. If for each of those guns, if we end up for Cameroon, one AK-47 now 1.5 million at the very least. And these weapons, the way Tamofos and Michael would send them, they will be almost new. So they will be really even more expensive. And then not to talk about how much they send them, they for spend at least 1 to 2 million francs equivalent just for ship that container alone. And then they don't spend money for buy the motors, for buy the goods, for buy this and that. Before you want to work them out, yes, the value for this thing, it for surely be about the value for surely be about 1. Sorry about that, my contributor. They like say I hope so when I still be connected. Because my internet connection it be go away for a second. Okay, my contributor. So when I bear with me, maybe I get the internet reconnected properly. Now my router thing. Yes, okay, my contributor. I think say we go mash fire. So we don't do live now for about 3 hours. So now we go mash fire with this live broadcast. So now the things in this way they will be attached to the items where they be there for container where they seize them on 20th of May 2019. So like we talk 17 Camelback hydration packs, tripwire, doorbells, tripwire, blah 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 blah. All those things. I know. Okay, I think at the end of the document that we'll go. I think there was a particular paragraph where I really want for written for now. Maybe I don't skip them, but yeah, I don't know if you even remember which way it be. So my contributor, Usa be there. So now some information this way, me I get time it there on the screens for now. When I see for now, so say the plea agreement he signed on June the 12th and promises to cooperate fully is the legal jargon for snitch like a rat. I hope someone understand. This one person will send me this thing now, a barrister and a lawyer. Where when you plead guilty and you promise to cooperate fully, it means that you don't promise for sell Ambazonia as they call them in order to get a reduced sentence. So when it talks, see the last page is the stipulation of facts. He agrees to all the conspiracy charges. He agreed. Say yes, I do. And then my contact tell me say I'll send the bail conditions later. Don't have it on the phone. He has to surrender his passport if he get restricted travel. He if he get contact with the other amber sheet, no why blast them or the other co-conspirators them. Almost, which is exactly the same as Mangang, because Mangang right now, if he get contact with the other co-conspirators, if he talk to Edith, if he talk to Tamofos and Michael or Roger Akem with all the other co-conspirators, that could lead to her, if he land inside serious problems, my contributor. So now, I will ask you, say, any idea when the sentencing will be? It tell me say after August the 6th, but no date has been set for the sentencing. So I will also ask you say, and then it say, remember they all snitching like rats according to plea bargain agreements. And if they don't name Sako and Chris Anu in the conspiracy, they have violated their plea agreements and will then be the ones to rat them out to the AG about their other co-conspirators. Basically, wait, I know life now. The person will send me this information about Stan Salai. And by Stan Salai, I don't talk say it will work very hard in the background for make sure say now we don't nail one, we will get all of them. That dominoes effect. And the USA way they will start get people them like Chris Anu, Sako Ikome, and keep going up and catch all of them. Echu, what did they call that guy name? That Bayangi man. Echu Weti. I don't wait with that guy Tabenyang. How for catch Helena Konji and all those people, how for get all of them. Now the financial transactions, the financial dealings, now for they will catch all of them. Now the financial transactions might contribute with them. So we need for match fire for that particular aspect. So some person talk for it's a when I still there for you to respond to Amber, she know why I go slap una. I don't be say sometimes it be irresistible because they should know why blast them. They are so annoying sometimes, but please try to resist them. Try to resist them. Una, yes, Amber will continue for 3 hours to listen to Countryman, and then okay. So now before we end this broadcast, I want for because this broadcast will be sponsored by the ATF, because I know say they work with what Countryman. May una no tell Sako Ekome. Say ATF it work with La Republique, the agent. When a country people Ngumda titles. Make una no tell them. So now them don't sponsor this live broadcast. We go play with their advertisement.
Name of Dr. Cho Ayaba, saying he has stopped the ghost town. Ebenezer Kwanga used it in his official capacity in his platform. The second one came out saying Ayaba Cho have changed ghost town from Monday to Tuesday.
Okay, so when I don't hear, now the sponsor that for our live broadcast, now Ngong Dog for Hong Kong, it don't talk say Ayaba Cho, it don't change ghost town now from Mondays now to Tuesdays. First they be talk today, so no more ghost towns. That one no work, and then they talk, okay, since we wanna know why we cancel ghost town, we'll go put down for 2 days, Monday and Tuesdays. Okay, that one no work. So they say, okay, how about we'll move them, shift them only small from Monday to Tuesdays. So we'll see how that one a work might contribute them. And also we still day here today for thank especially blackest of black legs, Manga Bell, where it don't help for sponsor a few of our country people them, our black legs them. For example, Laura Elinge, Emma Wu, Contractor Black Leg, G-Man continues. I never still talk to Perika for Fof Jaws, Ba Eugene, Beltus, I tell song Albin Khalifa, Vivian Lemfo, na Lemfon. You get Emmanuel Zenu, Ma Vera Wanjai, and of course Nkongo Bell and APA Simon. So it don't help for give them top of credit for at least this month. So I want for make all man type of comment section say thank you Manga Bell. Just type them, send up a comment section say thank you Manga Bell. You go see them. Whether you don't receive them or you never receive them. So I know at the risk of embarrassing some people, I don't move some of the names them out of the list, just so that I make a no cost embarrassment for 1 or 2 people. But we want to say thank you Manga Bell for the data top up, and also Mesumbembong, it be sent 10,000 francs for 4 people then for top up their data just for support with way Manga Bell it will start for Duam. So before I can talk a little bit about Mesumbembong soon in a bit, but already people the way they don't benefit from that small top up with Manga Bell be sent and we'll get Emma Wu, Albin Khalifa, Ba Eugene Popov, George G-Man Passman, Laura Linge, Emmanuel Zenu, A.P.S. Simon, Ma Vera Vanjai, Congo Bell, Ranger Titan, Kijem Felixo, Contractor Blacklegs, Vivian Lempon, Bali General, Tantok Goldberg, Kame Pekin, Kramchuku, and then you get Kumboy for Life. Kumboy for Life, the account, it will be this, if you get problems, but it don't recover the account. I actually get, I personally know Kumboy for Life. Me and you will start talk around July 2019. So I don't know Kumboy for Life for 2 years now. So I get some small story about the now person that way it be run into some serious difficulties because of ambashit no web last and where they be attack you just like una countryman. And at that time you never get any person for talk to, you never get nowhere to turn. So it decide for message una countryman. And in the background I will try to do 1 or 2 things if I try for sort the situation out for you. It turned out say it be actually work out, and which is fantastic. So yeah, I'm not gonna go more into that, but now fantastic somebody when I see for Facebook when I salute for me. And then you get Dialogue No Day. I think that your account they don't delete him, but now one of the biggest black legs where I know ye for background because I get your personal number, I will still talk. I don't know your account where they use them now. So Dialogue No Day, if you still use different account, just comment in the comment section, talk saying that the account that way you use them now. Docsman, it been a person that will be working in the background as well for Facebook for help for this or the clients. Kawaii and Nick. I don't know the account where they use them now. Now whether I put staff in name, but now big black leg. So it will don't benefit. You don't get some small thing for that. Top up with countryman Manga Bell. So We also get a total of more than 25 people that don't benefit from that top up already. Some people they get 30,000, some people they get 25, someone they get 15, someone they get 20, someone they get 5,000 only, someone they get 10,000 francs. So it will be now at the Igwe discretion for decide what if do as per the instructions from Mangabel. Say Igwe, now you know your citizens, and now you know who need waiting and who in need, which kind of support and whatnot. So it was fantastic. And at least 8 people they will get 30,000, and at least 6 they get 20, and at least about close to 8 or so they will get 15, I think. So wait after Manga Baby do that one, Mr. Membong, a contact my countryman, say, oh, countryman, that was a fantastic initiative. I would like for at least support 1 or 2 people and 2 for top up, because sometimes they way me, I know if you can do the black legism with you, I there for work, I did do my own things, but I would like to sponsor another person for stand on my behalf. At least if he get credit, it could share, and at least if he share, I could know see me I don't contribute for that. So it send countryman, it send 40,000 francs where I don't really. So what's the plan? So I tell you the criteria, and I say what's the black leg get to be based inside Cameroon, and it get to be recognized as a big black leg based on your postings on Facebook. You know, most like Countryman page. People the day we don't support them when a black leg way, they're not there for Countryman page all the time. But we notice their impacts where they cause harm in their black legism. So I message them behind. I say, listen, do you need a leg up? Do you need a lift up? Do you need any little support? Any kind of support, because every little helps. Any kind of support, even at just 10,000 francs, so make sure say we take care of your data top up for this month. For make sure say you match for that black legism ego. Alleviate some stress from some one corner where maybe you think for go live, or you think for go post something, and you think say, oh, I don't want to use this data today because I want to use them tomorrow or whatever. No, it will remove all of that from your mind, and it will focus your black legism for which we want to do. So it will be very appreciative, and it was fantastic. So now I want to send a message to these 3 people that are on the screens: Perika, Manyusawa, and Kumkumasa. All these 3 accounts, them I don't know una personally, or maybe I already know una personally, because people they get multiple fake accounts. So if you be Perika, you get Countryman WhatsApp number, WhatsApp me. If you Manyusawa, WhatsApp me. Kumkumasa, WhatsApp me. 2 of these 3 people they will get 10,000 francs each. Now I don't designate the and then also Ngwa Carson and just in case these 5 accounts them when I message me, the first 2 where they contact me, they will get the 10,000 francs each. Or yeah, and it will help you with your top up credit if you be based inside Cameroon. Even if you not be based inside Cameroon, just WhatsApp your countryman, Toxic Countryman. I'll be Ngwa Carson for Facebook, or I'll be just in case, I'll be Perika Manyusawa or Kumkumasa, and I'll be based abroad, or I'll be based for Cameroon. Now all that, and then I'll go, if you be based for Cameroon, I'll go congratulate you for the black legism what you do, and then I'll go ask you for your mobile money account. You send me the mobile money, I instruct my person on the ground for Cameroon, and you could get the 10,000 francs cash. Simple as that. So now Mesembong, it give you that 10,000 francs. I don't really. This evening, Boy for Life, he received your own 10,000 francs, and that one will come out from Mesembong, your own allocation. So thank you plenty. So also any other person where you did be based on the ground inside Cameroon, if you did struggle with top up data, sometimes the way you really want to come online, you can't do black legism, but you know fit because you struggle with data, contact G-Man Continues. G-Man Continues. I know say me and you will never discuss this one, but I've been at the Igwe, I decide now, and I appoint you. This one a public decree where I don't sign and say, from today henceforth, you will be now the gateway to people the way if they need any kind of support. One time, it happened like once or twice a year. We did help 1 or 2 people the way they need the assistance, data top or whatever. It's not something we do regularly. If the opportunity arises, say we'll get some person we want sponsor, why not? And then we'll go put your name forward. So people the way they benefit from this time, next time we'll go find extra people and add them on top, or reduce the other people them. So if you just come from here, we'll do some jumbo, move some name them, and then add some other one them, and then we'll help them. That's so we'll do them round. Yes, that's so we'll do them. So if you contact G-Man Continues, because G-Man Continues, it win the prize of the humorous and stupidest black leg where they make all man laugh, which is fantastic. Now a huge honor for you. G-Man Continues. So any black leg where you want and no ever try for contact Blackleg with the original real account or now if una want una contact me directly. So you contact G-Man, tell G-Man say, oh, you be Blackleg or you be based for here and then G-Man go assess your suitability for receive any assistance or whatever, and then they go message me say, countryman, this person, now you fake account this, it do great work because you follow ye or this and that, and then they go send me your details, and then I'll go add your name for the list. And next time if this opportunity arises, then before you know, your phone will just alert, like how Nigerians they call and say bank alert, but in this case it could be now Momo alert. It could just alert say this so you don't get some small top up from one generous countryman. But before I want go, I want for show now this breaking news where it become from Momo, as we don't already talk about this news where Barretta news be sent for we. Yeah. So they will go plan these bombs and for road between that with the compatible road and one Blackleg inside some motor just see a pastage and then they go give them free kumkum without no soup. Two of them they go horizontal, they arrive for Maryland straight away, no soup, no contest, one-way ticket, and they are very happy. They arrive very safely. They're there for Libya, they're there for Maryland right now. So my computer for go back, my show now this quickly. Now just random amber sheet no white blast Facebook account. He post me this particular one in name now Martin Tasso. He post 10 hours ago. So I always give una evidence and case studies them. Now wait till this way post them 10 hours ago. I don't show una your name no, show una the account and I go verify. Now wait till this way post them 10 hours ago, 10 to 11 hours ago. It say, if you are tired and silent, draft and continue to pray. Ambazonia must be free. God is with us. When I hear the language of losers and people the way they see say all things don't fail now. He say if you are tired and silent, country people them, I go ask now this question, make una answer them for comment section. Why would I think say ego leave that message? Say if you are tired and silent, make you continue for the sponsor them anyways in the background. But why you think say ego talk say if you are tired and silent, they be tired and silent. It's a beg. It's a just go draft, give you your money and then go pray if you be tired of this. Because okay, I want to go back, go show una, go play for una this video again where I be tell una watch. Okay, so why I want to play that video for Namuna Siam Nasiwete. Now 2018 this where they will assemble hundreds of them, if not thousands of them, outside the White House, and many of them they actually believe the American government they support them for which way they do, and then about 2021 they don't see and say even when they want to raise money no they enter. Money no they enter. Now why do I talk say if you are tired and silent? Because the worst thing for them now, people don't like Yannick Sikot, like in Funcha, like the other one they call and say Dr. Nick, Dr. this, Dr. that, Periphery Nick Santos, where they resign publicly and they talk say we're not doing for this barlock anymore. They resign publicly. That one if you just kill Amber. But the fact, the reality now, that is just the tip of the iceberg. In the background, thousands of this kind of kunyams, the way they will attend this kind rallies, they will go out into public for London, Berlin, Paris, in the United States, where they will go out, go protest for 2017, 18, even 2016, even 2019. Now for 2021, they know fit pass. First of all, coronavirus, now Blackleg. Because coronavirus don't make them, they know fit pass. And yes, Wiseman Bill talk said they are frustrated already. Yes. First of all, they were already frustrated. That's why they became Ambazonians in the first place. Now, talk say their name now, which Frustra Diasporanus Cameroonus. Now, which that they call now the official biological scientific name for an amber sheet no white blast in the diaspora. Amber Fu. Now, Frustra Diasporanus Cameroonus. Now, already frustrated Cameroonians in the diaspora way, they wish for attain certain heights in life. and then it not happen, and then they blame Cameroon government for their own failures. That is it. So a lot of people, they don't exit. As I tell you now their frustration, it is show publicly, where they can't post them out in public. Say, if you are tired, if you don't tire you this thing, and you be silent, you no one join you this thing anymore. Silent, because back in the days, they would go out, go protest. I don't show on a video, no. They would hundreds, maybe thousands for Berlin, for Paris, everywhere. But now they be silent. They don't even want make they no say they be ever exist. In fact, no, check out the comments, and when some people they write them for comment, they want to say straight talk, they want to say very correct, and then this one talk say after investigation, this is how fictive pastor artificially increased draft contributions to scam Ambazonians. You see, to understand the draft artificial increase mechanism, it is important to know that all the thousands of dollars allegedly contributed by county or by county leaders and members presented at the beginning of each draft show are fake and just audio money to fool you people. In actual fact, no money is collected in advance. The only real money is only contributed the day of the draft, and still barely 50% of the amounts declared in public is actually sent by participants. Therefore, out of final amounts posted after every draft session, 95% is fictitious, virtual audio money, and real money is just 5%. No, baby, I write them. I write them how long ago? I check the comments again. I write them how long ago? 6 hours ago. Oh, no. I don't even read the comments before I come live. I know be decide to read the comments and funa, but no continue to digress. So, it's if you are tired and silent, what it could make you tired? When I know I reach boy again, until we reach boya. When I know I reach again, Tamu for St. Michael, until we reach Tamu for Roger Akem, until we reach Mangang, until we reach Then what to be the other one again? Walter's Muma, until we reach when I know I reach again. My country people them say until we reach. So thank you plenty. For the ones the way they don't join, we did a match fire. I want to take. I know say we don't be live really long today, exceptionally long. So wanna bear with me. Since we don't really be that long live. Why not just be just a little bit extra longer for thank all these people the way they don't participate, where they share, where the day here with we, Lodesta Bezalel, Mangabel as usual. They notify we Limbetico say we don't get 1.3k shares. Thank you so much. It's fantastic. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm gonna show now something quickly. Okay. So whenever after every live broadcast, now what it is we command EDCM, because as the administrator, I feel post as Cameroonianness. So I go through all una comments them, and I feel rate them as the newest for see the newest one first. So what the way command it do and say I go through all the comments them, and then when I come across comment like the one way, the amber sheet no white blast it be leave them on this page. Which I did, maybe some person don't already YP comment, or one of the admins. Okay, now in this na Jack no. Okay, so see like this person it be respond to ye. You waste your time. All we need for doing for say command block this person. Okay, say Jack. All I need for doing for press for name hold them so for a few seconds. You see at the bottom there it says delete comment and block Jack. All I need for doing for select them, and then it will say with a ban and delete. Now see no, ban and delete. Give it a few seconds. Now in that it talks at the bottom there. That comment it not only be deleted, but every single thing where you don't ever post them on this page, it be deleted as well. And every comment where you believe I'm under your comment, you be waste your time as well. Gone. Now what did I tell when at the end of every live broadcast, I can't read the comments them. I know the play tabala, I know the dialogue, I know the discourse with amber sheet no white blast. I delete them, block them. Gone. It means that from now to the end of time, it no go fit ever leave a comment onto this page unless I decide. unless I say so. Now my platform. Now me a creator. Okay. So people the way they respond to ye, all the comments when I believe them, they respond to ye as well, they delete with them. So that is it. So if I go back now, well, oops, go to comments, go to the top, show all comments. Naboya Pekin be there, Agnes Oben Baroa. Okay. So this guy Rene Gobe Bala, maybe not a journalist, is a translate him for English. I know the Belches, if Belches be there, Belches for things a countryman go read French. You waste your time, Belches. So it's a good evening, countryman. You are a national hero. Your activity motivates us to fight to restore our country. Thank you so much, and I go love your comment very much. Thank you. Just in case, Big Black Leg, Bangem Tombell. Sorry for coming late. I'm watching from Tombell in Germany. I believe you. Jack Burton said, I know how low the worker for you. It's a small time all them go for because Mangan don't sell them outside. No, of course, now in a very silent. Gapis will they Gapis will also message if you need any support. If you're there on the ground for Cameroon, Lodesta Bezalel, the same thing. Message countryman. What be name? G-Man continues. Contractor Black Leg they here. Mashfire with the Jack Burton. Motombo Ituka Louis. It's a Amber Haram thought Thomas who claimed my countryman is telling lies and now sweating. They go here hot. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so una see him. So now una see Jack. All ye comments them they be grayed out. Okay, it no be highlighted anymore. So because I don't ban it, every single comment where you don't ever leave them on this page, they disappear. The only reason where me I fit still see some of the comments them now because I be administrator of this page, I fit still see the comment where I not even see the comment. All the way it talks and say this comment has been hidden, and the only way for me for bring back the comments now for go add ye for go remove ye from the list of people the way they don't ban them from this page, and it will remain banned for life. Simple as that. So people them like this strong head one and Gemma, very strong head picking where if you leave comment now and Gemma that way you be leave comment under ye I don't tell when I say when I need to respond to them. And I also go to respond to them. I know say it be difficult sometimes them. It be difficult, but when I need for try. Okay. So Njema, that comment we believe on for day, you waste your time. Instead for you for the listen to wait where countryman they talk for the pay attention, you waste your time responding to Amber Sheet no white You waste your time. Now that comment it be deleted with your own. Because I don't ban me. So now what did I countryman do? Now why that I tell when I say I read every single comment where when I leave them. I read very fast as when I tell. I read very fast. I say things and very fast. If I just detect anything, say I detect them, send an Amber. So when I forget about, if I can't do live broadcast for 3.5 hours like I don't do them today, then I would need at least another 3 hours in the background. Because after you plant something, you go cut your farm, you hoe them, then you plant them. That's not the end. In order for harvest, you still get for water the plants they grow, and as the plants they grow, weed they grow amongst them. So you still need to go weed them before it grow, before you feel harvest them. So when we see get the results for our platforms, then they grow, the platform that they perform the way they perform, we plant them, we the first chappier grass, then we plant them, and then we hoe them, and then we plant them, and then after we plant them, we get to water them, we get to weed them. So and this is part of the weeding. We weed out all the nonsense. Move them to them. Even that all thing we they grow for your farm is supposed to day for day. No. Even that all thing we do for your farm supposed to day for your farm. Something they need for chappier them, weed them to them. And then Amber should nowhere less than that. That's what we do. If Amber pass my page, lifespan maximum 2 hours. I check my page every 2 hours. I sleep, and then woke up check them. If Amber pass, I get sentiment. Say Amber don't pass my page, I go ban them. They go most. It means say you can't don't forget they watch them, but they don't go ever leave comment again. I don't see someone them frustration hold them. They can't message me for WhatsApp. They say why me I ban them. Say maybe I open my account, make it can teach me lesson. I ask you say first of all, I compete with you for waiting. You get something I want time. She know why blast. So my contribute them. We will leave them for here. I thank all man we don't take part, all man we don't share. We get Jane Ejede Akwache Black Leg the Plenty Master. I don't tell when I say sometimes that when I want to make a Black Leg name, when I make the one it will be easier for to pronounce them. When I need agree here. They get someone for here where I know if you pronounce them, I just keep passing and bring me. Okay. I think when I plenty my contribute them, we will end up for here, but when I say this story is start. This one is just a start. When I wait till when Sako come get to go court, when they start indict Sako, Chris Anu, and their own it could be in financial crimes. It must be in financial crimes because Sako no get time for the touch bullet and gun. He no be stupid like Walter's Muma, Mangang, Tamofos and Michael and Roger Akem. He no be that stupid. Sako na thief na arata. And they go cash Sako now money for your mob or for your hand or for your bank account. Now the only way that way they go catch you. But make and talk to me. That way they go start. That way people like Sako they go start. And then maybe not understand this other dynamic. They will raise money for 2017-18 with the intention say they will use them for buy guns or do this or do diplomacy and stuff like that. 2029 till now they start realizing some of them, most of that money is now for defend themselves for law court, for lawsuits, cases. For example, I don't ask when I say, now who I think they pay Walter's mom a defense or lawyers fees, Tamofos and Michael, all of these people each of them it will require at the very minimum contribute. Ma explain something for now. Ma contribute. Okay, listen. Court case, no be biscuit, no be bonbon. Okay. No bim bong bong. At the very least, each of those people, the way they indict them, at the very least, by the time where they want indict you, they want go through the court cases, go through the process with the lawyers' fees, transportation, other costs and everything, till the time where they sentence you, you go don't spend nothing. It could take maybe they start indict this one in 2019. We're there for 2021. They never even yet sentenced any person. Now only at the end of this year where they could sentence the first person and Roger Akem and they sentence it because they don't already plead guilty. So there's no need for go court. So it don't save itself money as well as it save the United States government money because if we get to go court, it would need for pay lawyers fees for every time we appear for court. Lawyer must stay for the lawyer to take a cut. So they're going to need to spend nothing less than 10 million francs each for lawyers' fees. 10 million francs. It will bankrupt them. At the time when they ask, it will bankrupt them. 10 million is small money. Now, when for Cameroon, first of all, get money, when I would see 10 million, I think say, when I tell them plenty money. For the country, when I know how difficult it be for save 500,000 francs. People, if you go 2-3 months, before they save 500,000 francs, debts, bills, responsibilities, all kind of things. And then you carry 10 million, you go dash some person. And that 10 million are just cash where they go to pay to lawyers. Forget about the amount of money where you go to lose them in revenue. You will get psychological, mental fatigue, mental torment, psychological things that go on, they go wrong for your life because they indict you. And then you will get criminal record again. Where it means you will lose your job. And even if you don't lose them, the potential say you will get another one, or you could make as much money as you will make. All those things that they count. They count. Now their lives and that don't be ruined because they go enter inside some madness or mafia where they come and say Ambazonia Foundation Inc. or whatever. For give Sako comment money maybe can pay rent. I beg my country them. I don't go me. When a good night. At least we don't tolerate today, no so. We don't to refine, and when I don't understand which will go on, whether you've been a lawyer, you've been a teacher, you've been a journalist, when I don't publish them. I don't publish them. They on the website. On the website na countrypeople.com. Now in that be designed for destroy Ambazonia terrorism. Now countrypeople.com that the website that everything where you need for know. Now in that I don't publish them. Now in this, access them. All the documents them. If you come for day, you download them. Not them that. Now the documents in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now then that to 11. The one we begin talk about today. Now in that number 11 for down here, where I no put number, but now in that Roger Akemi own. Just access them. You could download them. Now write newspaper articles. Now spray and make it go far and wide. Yes. Because they will indict them for 2018, 2019, they will hide them. Because they never want make it get the impact of demoralizing them. We'll not get time for that one. No get time for that one. We will see whether they will feel raise money again. Nonsense.
Situation that happened. My gang, we have learned and what is interim government.
We cannot compromise anything. They are not. It's not only 3 people. There are about 13 people involved in this whole saga since 2018. And they have been investigated and they have been indicted. Some of them are pleading guilty and having plea bargaining. I want to sound an alarm that the interim government for now to stay as far as possible from these people, because we are at the crossroads of what is happening today. You cannot violate an American law, a federal law in the US, and expect to get out of it. I don't know how standing behind Mangang is going to happen. But I'm saying, if you look at the 13, we have a lot, some of the people who are our supporters. They may not be in the interim government, but they are our supporters. But I cannot classify them along with Mangang. Given the statement that Mangang has been making since 2018 till today. Listen, I am saying that you can do whatever political thing you want to do, but stay away from that case, because it's a criminal case and it happened. They were caught hands down. They were caught doing what they were doing. I don't know where some of you are claiming that if she succeeded, it would have been beneficial to us. How do we know that when we have people like Ayabacho killing our people? Do you know whether those guns, those things could have been shipped to get to Ayabacho? I don't know. But I'm saying the interim government should be very careful, stay away from a criminal matter like this, and let justice take its course, please. Because we are at the crossroads. The American government is looking at our case and looking very carefully, and we cannot take the risk of being complacent by those who violate American law. Please be very careful. We should be very careful. That is my take on this. I'm not talking like a lawyer. I'm not talking like a lawyer. I'm not talking like a politician on this matter.
Yeah, Barrister John, I think I agree with you. Every other person agrees with you. Barrister John, I get your point. I really understand. This interim government will not defend her. And I am not defending her by any means. But I am saying she is just one Amazonian, perhaps, who was trying to do something that could help. We don't know. But that is what she was doing. Barrister John, I give you the
Chris, can I?
Yes, please.
Can I? Since 2018, this particular woman has been against the interim government and against.
Let me tell you something there, Barrister John.
Let me finish now.
I will come to you. I will come to you. I want just to confirm what you are saying. She left the interim when she was fired from the interim government. She told people that it was all Chris Anu that made her to be fired from the interim government. This is a woman I don't know when I last talked to, maybe about 4 years ago. So listen. I am not on her side on anything, but I am looking at this from the perspective of any other Amazonian. Thank you. Go on, sir.
Well, I was saying that since 2018, this woman has been against the interim government. And for anybody to think that she will shift arms on the ground for interim government is neither here nor there.
No, nobody is saying that at all. I don't even believe that. So please, let's get it right.
Listen to me.
And if I find out where Ayamacho is getting his arms, I'm going to attack it. Look, listen, because any arm that go down to our territory, it's a double sword. It can get into the hands of Atanganji boys. It can get into the hands of Ayamacho, and they will do harm to our people. All I'm saying, as a lawyer, I'm trying to say that let's not rock the boat. Let the judicial system run its course. If you have to do something political, maybe demonstration, well, I have nothing against that.
No. Demonstration for what?
I am saying that.
In case I have something to say.
To stay as far as possible from this case.
All right, let's get to
we are at the crossroads right now, and we need the support of this country where we live and we enjoy freedom. Anybody who violates the law of the land here should pay the music. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome.